From the Sonosi Hairline Studios of Arizona, let's talk about Francis Ngannou. Welcome to the MMA-Holes. We're here, we're live, we're wonderful. How's everyone doing in the chat tonight? Is everyone doing great? I see the Cowboys are smashing on Tampa Bay Bucks. Brady, what's going on? How's everyone doing there? It's good to see everyone in the chat. How you doing, Ariel? So you cried again today. Let's go.
Wonderful.
We're going to talk about Francis Ngannou. He's not with the UFC anymore. And the heavyweight strap is up for grabs. Jon Jones, Ciryl Gane is the next fight coming up this year, 2023. News was dropped during the UFC Vegas 67 card where Strickland got the upset win. And we'll talk about a little bit of that later on against Imavov. But the big story is Francis Ngannou and what is next for him. We put a poll in the live chat. Let me pop that up over here real quick. We'll let this thing stay in the chat for the entirety of the stream. But we got some options for you guys. Whoop, there we go. Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. That's both in boxing. Fedor or Ante Dalia. Some people probably like, who the fuck is that guy? Well, I got to be honest with you. That's a real thing. That is a real thing because that's PFL, and there's reasons for that. But if you look at the poll right now, Tyson Fury in first place with the 57 votes. So we're going to leave this here since the stream just got started. Get your votes in. I'm curious to see where we go. But Tyson Fury, so far, has the early lead. Not surprised. Not surprised because Tyson Fury is the biggest name of the bunch. Probably the biggest bag of money that Ngannou would make. Now, when the news dropped, so I'll give a quick backstory. Basically, T-Mobile Arena had a sign that popped up and shocked everyone. Let me pull it up over here for you guys. Jon Jones, T-Mobile. And as we were doing our reaction stream, everyone was freaking out. They were like, oh my God, did you see? Big mess up. What's going on? There's an announcement. Everyone was going crazy over this. And yeah, T-Mobile Arena had this pop up on there. Dana White said it was an accident. It was a mistake. This should have never been there. I don't believe that, to be honest with you. I don't understand how a mistake like this happens. I think it was calculated, but it is what it is, whether it was a mistake or not. It's true. It's the truth. It got released, and this is happening. And it's weird because we didn't know what was going on. Like, what's going on with Ngannou? Is he going to be in the UFC? Is he going to fight Jones? Is Jones even coming back? And then boom, pop! That pops up out of nowhere. So everyone on the internet went crazy. Dana White addressed it with the media and had some interesting things to say. And I listened to a lot of people on the internet, I seen on Twitter, and I hopped in Ariel's stream for like 2 seconds. I wanted to vomit because as soon as I hopped in, he was complaining about Dana. But I think people are not understanding what Dana White's job is. He's a promoter, right? That's his job. His job is not to make everybody happy. His job is to sell fights. And when you have the biggest, baddest man on the planet not on the roster anymore, vacating the belt to fight somewhere else, what is Dana White going to do? What is he going to sit there and say, oh, well, drop the ball on that one. We suck. What is he going to do? Of course he's going to downplay it. He's going to move forward, and he's going to talk about the, debatable greatest of all time, which I think Jon Jones is up there as the GOAT, against Ciryl Gane. That's what he's going to do. I mean, I don't see any other way Dana is going to do this. And then people like trying to defend Francis Ngannou, and apparently Francis is going to be on Ariel's show tomorrow, so I guess you could watch that and see what he says over there. I don't think there's going to be any like mind-blowing things that Francis is going to say. Francis is fine. He's already set. He's made a ton of money already, and what he's going to make next is going to be astronomical. He's completely fine. So as a UFC fan, I am, upset that we don't see Francis in the UFC, but at the same time, the show goes on. And Francis is going to be just fine with his next fight. If he fights Tyson Fury, the Deontay Wilders, if he goes to PFL, if he goes to Bellator, one Riz, and wherever he goes, he's going to make a boatload of money. So everything's good. I don't understand the crying on the internet of people yelling and screaming, saying, oh my God, Francis got done dirty. This popped up, and shout out to Eric Nixon, Nixick. I always screw up the name. But Extreme Couture over there, who just so happens to be like my favorite coach. He just keeps it real, and a big fan of the guy. I clipped this from the MMA Hour, and this is what Eric said. So Eric went to dinner with Francis Ngannou and Dana White and the boys over there at the UFC. They had a very cordial dinner, and then this happened.
To be honest, I felt the UFC was doing the best that they could on their end too. I think there was terms and there were certain things in there that, Francis just wasn't comfortable with. He wasn't about the money. I think the money was right, and I think the money was very good. But he kept talking about it's not about the money; it's about these issues and these stances. So they couldn't write a check big enough to make him change or waver on those stances. So people can say whatever they want about him. I know this true character and his heart, and dude, I love the guy to death for doing what he believed in. So basically,
and they did say that the UFC was about to cut a very big check for Francis Ngannou. Now, I don't think he's getting $30 million a pop like he would if he would be in boxing, but it seemed like they were actually going to open up the pockets and pay him a very large sum of money. So it wasn't really about the money. It was about the getting stuck in a situation again. Like if he signs again, it goes against everything that he stood for before when he was going back and forth with the UFC. And when it comes to the UFC, he was kind of a thorn in their side because they just couldn't meet eye to eye, Here's the thing. Francis Ngannou is the biggest, baddest man on the planet. There's no doubt about that. He proved it in the cage. He beat Ciryl Gane. He did what he had to do. He even did it with a blown out knee, or maybe even two blown out knees. I think it was one or two. Who knows? He was injured. And he modified the game plan, took out Ciryl Gane, and that's that. A lot of people after the fight were yelling and screaming how boring it was. I was riveted. I liked the fight a lot, but a lot of people didn't. Francis Ngannou is not a draw for the UFC. When it comes to pay-per-view numbers, it's not like he's moving the needle. And I think the UFC could only pay him appropriately, So Francis goes. He's going to fight somewhere else, and he's on his way. We move on. It's crazy. And I think now we got to debate, who's going to win between Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane. Like, that's something that we need to talk about because that's next. And Jon Jones with the big break moving up to heavyweight, Ciryl Gane looking fantastical. I mean, that's a great matchup. So we got a good fight there. It's a bummer that Francis Ngannou is gone, but we move on. It is what it is, and Francis will be just fine. Now, let me see what the chat says about this. I want to get your initial opinions on the situation. Let's see. Let's pop this over here in the chat. And if you could hit the like button, I'd greatly appreciate the like button hits. Here we go. Let's put this right over here. Boom.
Wonderful.
Okay, here we go. Jon Jones sucks. Did you see Jones is the underdog? Yeah, and I got to be honest with you, I'm probably going to be popping money on Johnny. The initial reaction when we found out the night of the fight reaction, I was like, John's going to take this dude down. And Francis, Cyril of course, he's going to be ready. I mean, it's not like Ciryl Gane got wrestle-fucked in his last fight and he's going to be like, okay, I'm not going to train on that. Of course, he's going to, pick up the pieces and try to, make sure he tightens himself up. But I just foresee Jon Jones trying to take this thing to the ground. And until Jon Jones officially loses, I understand people think that he lost to Dominic Reyes. I get it. And he does have a blemish from the deaf guy. But at the end of the day, he hasn't really officially lost. So until Jon Jones officially loses, I'm going to be riding the Jones train. Mr. Picograms. Jon Bones smashes Ciryl Gane 9 out of 10 times. Wow, that's incredible confidence. Listen, Ciryl Gane is a very tough matchup. I just do see Jon being able to take him down here. Now, if you're just talking about this thing staying on the feet, I feel Ciryl Gane is better. He's got the power. He's an actual heavyweight. He's as light-footed as one of these freaking flyweights. The dude prances around like he's not. It's just nuts. He's got fancy feet for a big guy. So it's gonna be fascinating to watch Gane and Jones go at it. And if it goes to the ground, I do feel like Jones does have some sort of advantage there. Even though Gane does have a ground game himself. It's not like he doesn't have a ground game. He does. It just Francis kind of, showed him what's up. Francis consistently over a long period of time called out Jones during interviews on Insta, etc. He destroyed the heavyweight roster. He never feared Jones. Dana's first-class liar, says Grip. Okay, so does anyone believe Dana? Like I said at the beginning, and I know people are probably coming in, they're trickling in as we go along. I'm going to repeat myself. Dana White is being a promoter. His biggest, baddest man on the planet just left the organization, just vacated the strap to get a bag somewhere else. He's fighting in the biggest MMA organization he can fight at, the top of the heap, the UFC. And their guy just said, you know what? I'm good. So what is Dana White going to do? What is he going to do? What is he going to say? Well, Francis really effed us in the ass. We are stupid. We suck. We don't pay these guys enough. Like, what is Dana going to do? He's going to move forward and promote the next fight. He's a promoter. That's his job. And the people hanging on every one of Dana White's words and saying, he's lying. Like, you guys need your heads examined. He's a promoter. It's like a sleazy car salesman. That's what these guys do. It's their job. His job is to sell fights and pay-per-views. And I got to be honest with you. I like Francis Ngannou a lot. I am bummed that Francis is not in the UFC, but I am realistic to the fact that Francis doesn't push the needle. He's not getting the pay-per-view buys. If you look at our pay-per-view streams, when we do our Fight Buddies, the heavyweight, baddest man on the planet is getting probably the lowest views out of all the other ones. All the other fighters. That's not good. So it is a bummer here. We're not going to see, the big African monsters going over to Africa and do the rumble in the jungle too. We're not going to see that, unfortunately, at this stage of the game. Who knows? Maybe down the road, but now with this crew. So Dana's got to, make sure he's a little damage control here. That's what he's doing. It's so weird. It really is bizarre. You guys, and this dude over here, stop being brainwashed by this fucking guy. This guy over here is a clown. He's a straight up clown. He's trying to wave the flag and lead the revolution and expose Dana White. He's a promoter. That's his fucking job. His job is to do interviews. Think about it. Ngannou is pissed. White stroked his wife. What? Dana White stroked his wife? Is that true? Okay.
Wonderful.
Perhaps. He's away with the ladies. Tyson Fury versus Francis is a 40M flat to Francis' butt if he signed to Saudi-owned WWE 140. I don't know. Can you explain? Let's see. John Strong is fuck. He'll ragdoll Gane worse than Francis did. Probably throw him out the octagon. He's deadlifting 7. Yeah. Jon Jones, like Chael Sonnen, the great Chael Sonnen said, when Jon Jones got on top of him, it felt like a bear was on top of him. Now, listen, does anyone want Ngannou on top of you? I understand Jon Jones' wrestling is better than Ngannou's, but Ngannou's size, with just a little bit of wrestling ability, is scary. Looking mad cute. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
That is the chief. LOL cow. Talk shit about every YouTuber charging for picks and yet does the same thing. Well, here's the deal. I'm not giving my guaranteed locks and saying, hey, bet the house on it. Here I am. I got my guaranteed picks, and if you take my picks, you're gonna pay for your family's fucking house. Not saying that. Are you bummed that you're not a member? You can't afford $3 a month? It's not my problem. Jon Jones is running away from light heavyweight division. He has no chance in the heavyweights. Wow. So you're saying he's running away from light heavyweight. So why the hell would he go up to heavyweight? Oh my God. That doesn't make any sense. I just hope this fight happens. So you think, listen, it's going to happen. Jon Jones versus Gane, lock it up. And, there's a lot of people at heavyweight got to be licking their chops right now because Francis was the boogeyman. No one's beating this guy. He after the Stipe loss, Francis went to the drawing board and says, okay, it's not going to happen twice. And boy, oh boy, did he fix the holes in his game. And one of the reasons why he did so is because of this gym over here, Extreme Couture. And this guy over here, Eric, he is something else, man. He's really doing some special things over there at Extreme. I think Francis will look great if he stays in the MMA game. I got to be honest with you. I see at the poll, let me see, the poll is still 48% for Tyson Fury. That's what the peeps want to see Francis versus, okay? Now listen, I like Tyson Fury a lot. Tyson Fury knows how to sell a fight, and he is the baddest man on the planet when it comes to boxing. Now, if you're going to do something where it's Tyson Fury versus Ngannou, but then there's a catch, like the second fight, you're doing it with 4-ounce gloves in a cage. Okay. If you're just doing a straight-up boxing fight and you just want Ngannou to get paid, I get it. Ngannou's going to get his ass whooped in straight-up boxing against Tyson Fury. He has zero chance of winning that fight. I don't give a shit about puncher's chance or any of that nonsense. Francis Ngannou does not beat Tyson Fury in boxing. Okay? But like I said, if there's a catch and there's a rematch where they have 4-ounce gloves and you kind of even the playing field, maybe a little bit of MMA rules in there, I don't know. Okay. All right. I don't know if Tyson Fury is going to agree to that. He made mentions that he might, but we'll see. It's a difference between saying yes and then putting the pen to the paper. Now, if it is boxing, the only fight to make is Deontay Wilder. It's a fascinating matchup. Two guys with the one-punch power. Deontay Wilder would have an edge in boxing because he's been doing it straight up. But when you look at his resume, Deontay Wilder relies on that power, the bomb squad. So Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou, we've been saying this for the last 3 years. We've been saying this on this channel. Now everyone's jumping aboard on it. But we've been saying this for 3 years straight. That is the only fight I want to see Francis Ngannou take in the boxing world. At least we got a shot. What if he loses against Deontay? Does he blow it against Tyson Fury? Like people yelling about that on the internet. He takes that chance with any boxing match. And if he gets humiliated by Tyson Fury, you know what's going to happen? Dana White is going to hit the mic and talk to the media and say, well, we made the right move. And he's going to throw him under the bus even further. If I was Francis Ngannou, honestly, I think PFL's the way. And PFL, not only is he going to hit the millies, not only is he going to be able to beat all these guys over there, the heavyweight champion is a man named Ante Delija. And if you look at this over here, or Delia, excuse me, if you look at this over here, people don't even give a crap about the guy, right? Francis goes in there, smokes him, takes the millie. Francis fights. He could even fight novelty fights in the PFL. It's on ESPN. And now you got Jake Paul in there with this legacy thing. I don't know what Jake Paul's doing, but he's got a separate thing that's going on that is like removed from their tournament. So you could put together novelty fights, whether it's boxing or MMA, inside the PFL cage. You could do that. There's so many options with PFL. And I'm pretty sure if Francis says, hey, I'll fight in the PFL, but I still want to fight Tyson Fury too. Can we make this happen? I'm pretty sure the PFL will be like, yeah, go ahead. And this is what makes me scratch my head. If the UFC said to Conor McGregor, well, hey, listen, you want to fight Floyd Mayweather? Go for it. Go get beat up by Floyd. Come back and fight in the UFC. How come that didn't happen with the UFC? That's the only thing that I don't understand. Like, I feel like the UFC was throwing a lot of money at Francis. Were they just saying, hey, man, you can only stay here and that's it. We don't want you fighting in boxing. You must stay here. And if the UFC did that, that is a mistake. Or is it? Or maybe just Francis was so annoying to the UFC and they had enough. It's probably it. Probably the UFC was like, okay, this is our route. Francis doesn't sell pay-per-views. He's always screaming about fighter pay. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. All right. Good luck. It's a business. That's probably what happened. So now that Francis is gone, we got to figure out what's next. That's what we got to figure out. What is next for Francis Ngannou? We got the poll in the chat. Help me out, peoples. Help me. Francis versus Tyson would be very interesting. I mean, in boxing, because I got to be honest with you, I get it. The biggest, baddest man in MMA versus the biggest, baddest man in boxing. I get that whole theory, but we know what's going to happen. You know? And by the way, the Fedor thing, You know, I completely dismissed Bellator, and I'm still kind of dismissing Bellator. But I got to be honest with you. It would be a good kick in the nuts if Francis went over there and fought Fedor. Like, that would be a nice, because Dana White, that's the one thing that Dana White keeps on saying that he regret. I don't know if he really does, but he keeps on saying that he regret, you know, not ever putting the Fedor thing together. Wouldn't it be hilarious if inside the Bellator cage you had Fedor versus Francis Ngannou? We know Fedor would get killed at this stage of the game. But that would be pretty funny. Francis collects a check, beats up Fedor. You know, Scott Coker says, "Ha ha! I was able to do it. You weren't." You know. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Bellator is an underdog when it comes to getting Francis. I don't. I know they have Showtime money, but I think PFL is, when it comes to the MMA stuff, PFL would be the number one, especially with that whole Jake Paul craziness that's going on here. Francis has actually said nice things about Jake Paul, so I think that would be the number one place in the MMA world. But even further up, boxing's probably the thing. I mean, if you have guys like Tyson Fury making $30 million, you know, Francis is probably going to say, okay, let's take the bag. He always wanted to be a boxing champion. That's why he should fight Wilder. Shouldn't fight Tyson. But it is what it is. Let's see. We got a donation over here. What do we got? From
Wonderful.
Senosi.
I know you saw on Discord, but you know Ariel is drilling now that Francis is gone and is interviewing him tomorrow.
Yeah, and thank you for the $2 donation. Appreciate that, Senosi. Appreciate that. So, Ariel has the interview with Francis Ngannou. Big timing, works out great. Ariel's probably going to navigate down the road for violins, you know. And I hope Francis, you know, says how happy he is with his decision and whatever, because honestly he's gonna make a ton of money and he got what he wanted, you know. He really didn't. You listen to Eric, you know, Nixick about talking about their dinner and what Francis said after the dinner. You know, Francis was looking to leave. Like, he was asking for some crazy money. He was looking to get out. He had enough. He was making a statement. So I hope Francis makes a ton of money no matter what he does. I hope, whether it's boxing, PFL, and I got to be honest with you, I love Tyson Fury. I really do. Like, Tyson Fury is one of the few reasons why I'll even watch boxing. I think Tyson's great, right? I don't want to see him beat the fuck out of Francis Ngannou. So I probably would be rooting for Francis in that fight, but I got to... I don't know if I could do that, because you know what's going to happen. Yeah, you know what's going to happen. Dana's going to be like, I told you so. And, you know, it's going to be this whole thing. You know, so, like, I just hope that doesn't happen just as a selfish fan. But for him to make a big boatload of money, go for it. Make that money over there. Is it worth it? That's the thing. Is it worth it? When Conor lost to Floyd, a lot of things changed. You know, a lot of things changed. That mysticism kind of just fizzled away when he took that fight and he was running around and, you know, the fur coat and all that crazy stuff was going on. Like, a lot of things changed. Now, Francis is what, 36? How old is Francis? Francis, yeah, he's 36 years of age. So maybe this is the right time. You know, maybe this is the right time for him to make that move. You know, get the big bag and take a shot. Take a shot at that dream. Be the heavyweight champion and beat the biggest, baddest man on the planet. Respect for thinking you could do that. Much respect. It's just, like I said, as an MMA fan, like, I would hate to see Francis just get murked. I'd hate to see that. The money got to Conor's head, yeah. So, I mean, like, Francis is doing this at 36, so I guess the timing's a lot better. You know, if you're going to make those crazy moves, do it at the latter part of your career. You know, Francis makes $30 million or something like that. I mean, he's done. He's good. He doesn't really have to fight again. He doesn't have to do MMA or any of this stuff. So, all right. So I hope whatever decision he makes, he's just financially safe and set, and he's happy about his decisions. That's what I hope for Francis Ngannou. But if you talk about the fan in me, I want him to go to, you know, MMA, and I want him to you know, prevail. I would love to see him smash everyone over in the, you know, the other organizations and make a lot of money. Maybe take a circus fight and beat up someone else, you know? In MMA, Francis sucked, but he boxed in London way before, says Lord Sarkhan. Well, okay. So he has limited combat sports. I mean, he got in the game late as it is, you know? and his big power is what saved him. But if you look at the Gane fight and the adjustment he made at Extreme Couture, I mean, the guy is becoming a very balanced monster. So it is a bummer. I think MMA is the better place for him. You got to think of it this way. Francis Ngannou has just too much ground to make up to just do much in boxing. He just has too much ground to make up. These guys have been doing this their whole lives. Now, Deontay Wilder, I think he's got a shot. I think Deontay Wilder, he has a good shot against him. I think that, honestly, if you were to tell me, hey, Chris, what would you rather watch, just as a fan, Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou or Tyson Fury versus Francis? Deontay all day. All day. Both guys with monstrous power. I haven't seen anyone in boxing hit as hard as Deontay Wilder, and I haven't seen anyone in MMA hit as hard as Francis Ngannou. Let's put those two guys in the ring and let's see what happens. Let's see. Why are we putting Francis in a ring with a smooth-ass 6'7" monster of a dude that would just fucking razzle-dazzle around him and piece him up? Why? Why? How do we stop this? How do we get Ngannou paid and avoid Tyson Fury unless, like I said before, unless Tyson Fury agrees to get in a cage with the man? And maybe boxing rules would put him 4-ounce gloves. Then we're talking. Unless that happens, I don't need to see a one-off of Francis versus Tyson Fury. Don't need to see it. I wish Francis would have stayed in UFC, man, but I wish him all the best and what he does. He would flatline Wilder's zero head movement. I tell you what, yeah, I mean, it's amazing Wilder's done what he's done with just that power. It's crazy. Sorry, Moss, but Wilder would put Francis to sleep. Very possible. Not saying that's... But let me ask you this question. Okay, what is his name? Cheeto. All right, let me ask you this. Who does Francis have a better shot at beating? Wilder or Fury? Who does he have a better shot? Or what would be a more competitive fight? Answer that question for me. 40 mil one night after being a slave in an assault mine as a child. I don't think he's making 40 million in one night, honestly. Like if Tyson Fury made like 30 million in his last fight, I think Francis is making 25, 20, which is a lot of money. I don't think he's making 40 million. I don't think that's the case. He's not that much of a pay-per-view draw to do that. Wilder all day long. Definitely Wilder for sure. Fury got the skills. Francis has a good shot at beating boxers like Ruiz Jr. I mean, I don't even think he beats him. I don't. Fury would be the harder fight. Tyson Fury offered him 40 million. I mean, is he paying him 40 million? I mean, like I said, it sounds great when they just say it. It sounds awesome. But when it comes down to the pen to the paper, I don't know. What, Tyson Fury out of his pockets paying him 40 million? And by the way, the UFC was looking to pay him a lot of money. They were looking to pay him a good chunk of change, but he wants his freedom. He needs the chains broke. My man Francis. And I don't blame him. He's got a little leverage now. Take it, seize the moment. I got to say, in this situation, like I said, as an MMA fan, I'm bummed. I'm bummed out as like a UFC fan. Like I'm, seeing Ngannou leave is not the best situation. I'll get over it. I'll move on. But both parties win. I did see BKFC. I had a little back and forth earlier today about that. And they were like, BKFC doesn't have the money. And I think people forget that BKFC has Triller dollars. Triller's got stupid money. They were like, what, worth $8 billion or something like that? I mean, Triller's got a lot of money. So they could make a move. You could put them in that poll, and that makes a massive swing. If BKFC comes in there, swoops in, and takes the freaking gloves off of them, oh my God. Dude, that is just, you take the biggest, scariest, hard-hitting man, and you take his gloves off. That's just nuts. BKFC can't afford. They have Triller money. Triller. How much is Triller worth? They could afford him. $5 billion. They're worth $5 billion. Triller could afford him for him. $5 billion. They did pay Mike. They did. So think about it. You know, that's, I mean, I don't think France is going to make that move. I don't. It's not as sexy as getting in a boxing ring with the big gloves on, you know. It's not as sexy. So if I were asked, you know, do you think that's going to happen with bare knuckle? I would say no. But you can't count him out. You didn't know Triller was involved? Yeah, Triller, what was it? Like it was sometime last year. They made that big announcement, and Feldman still runs the show, but Triller is basically backing him, which gives them, you know, they could fire away. There's no doubt about it. It's just, you know, does Francis want to do that? Like, because that's kind of like selling. He might be selling his soul over there. You know, nothing against bare knuckle. I love bare knuckle. But, you know, when you're Francis Ngannou, you're the heavyweight champ of the UFC, and BKFC is doing some really good things. I just don't think that BKFC is still that level where Francis would be like, okay, let's go over there. I don't think. But you never know. Never say never, right?
Super chat.
Get him in the triad.
There is a guy in 1FC, Ryug. I think if he fixes striking and wildness, he is gonna be good. Trust me, I know him. He is a Olympic level Wursel.
Yeah, I mean, no one's really throwing out there One or Ryzen. You know, no one's saying that. But I don't know.
Wonderful.
I don't, you know, low chance.
Francis with bare knuckle equals legal murder. Every fight tagline will be, wanna see a dead body? Also fight Tyson or Wilder, then bare knuckle maybe after.
I mean, you could do that. Yeah, you could. If you take the boxing fight and you just get destroyed, like if you fight Tyson Fury and you just get mauled, bare knuckle's a great place to land. You know, just start killing fools in bare knuckle. So that actually is it's not off the table. He might do something crazy like that. It is a nutty situation, though. If you think about it, though, like the fact that Francis Ngannou is just like, I'm good, I'm out. Like it's so hard to wrap your head around because we've been talking about Ngannou versus Jones and all this crazy stuff going on here, and now here we are, beginning of 2023, talking about Gane versus Jon Jones. Jesse, welcome to the stream. How you doing? How you doing, Jess?
Wonderful,
all right.
wonderful.
Let's get your opinion on this, as I've been babbling like crazy. But it's a fascinating subject. Well, first off, I would love to. Oh, let me get to this donation real quick. Thank you guys for the donations. Hit the like button if you haven't done so yet.
Wonderful.
We got Pulse.
We interrupt this cage fighting stream to inform you that America's team is spanking the shit out of Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay fucking Quiz. And we smashed the San Fran next week. Now carry on with the regularly scheduled program.
I was like, damn, Tom Brady in the first. Yeah, they're pretty bad. What's the score now? Yeah. Well, if you're watching the NFL playoffs, it's really not much to watch. Before I went live, I saw it was 18-0. Let's see. By the way, the Giants beating the freaking 13-win Vikings. Let's go, baby. 24-0. NFC East is nuts. And I'm really upset. UFC 283 is going down Saturday night. And my Giants, if you could put that full blast. Is that no good or?
It looks weird.
Okay. Saturday night. Yeah, it's weird, huh? Yours, or maybe I have to lower that one. Wait. Yeah, I got to lower that light over there for
No,
you.
it's weird when this is on full blast. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. I got to lower that light though, because I still think you're. Who cares? Yeah, what the hell? I kind of want to change that now.
No, who cares?
Here, talk to the people. I'm gonna change that. It's gonna drive me nuts.
No, it looks fine now. It just looked bad when this light was on.
We look like two different colors.
Well, I'm wearing makeup.
Oh. Yeah, so the NFC East playoff game between the Eagles versus the Giants. The Eagles like the best fucking team in football right now. And the poor little Giants. Simultaneous to UFC 283. Anyone else football fans and like bummed out about this? This is driving me crazy that they're doing this a Saturday night where the UFC event is going against NFL playoffs. Like, what are we doing? It happened last year, and it's just so freaking annoying. Anyway, so I'm going to be all over the place on Saturday. Anyway, let's get your thoughts on Francis Ngannou and this whole leaving the UFC thing. I'm going to fix that light.
I pretty much gave... No, it looks fine. It looks fine.
You won't let me fix it?
No, I don't want you toying with it in the middle of a show. No. Afterwards, maybe. I already gave my thoughts on Saturday. I think, you know, Francis is moving on to bigger and better things. He knows what he wants, and he's chasing that, and good for him. And I think, like, we all kind of know what Dana White's doing. We caught it when we were listening to him in real time, that he was, you know, just fibbing in an effort to make it seem like the UFC weren't the bad guys, you know, but that's what he does. I mean, the only thing that caught my attention today that I was like, what the fuck, was Ariel Helwani. When he was going after Dana, calling him a narcissist and this and that, and because of the way that he handled it. And all I was thinking in the back of my head the whole time, and I can't remember the exact words that he used, but he said something along the lines of Dana basically like being a narcissist because, oh, they need me. I don't need to be here. They'll be affected if I leave, but I'll be fine, kind of thing. And then calling him a narcissist, and then leading into how he handled the Francis Ngannou thing and all that stuff. And all I was thinking was, Ariel just doesn't like that Dana handled it in a way that Ariel wouldn't have, or in a way that Ariel wouldn't have handled it. So doesn't that make Ariel a narcissist too?
Ariel is a narcissist.
Ariel's just upset because it wasn't handled Ariel's way. Not because it was handled Dana's way. You know, like, that's what kind of got me. I was like, man, like, you're throwing narcissist around here, and you know, you have the nerve to, like, call him, you know, I get it. He has this animosity towards them because of their history, but I thought that was the one thing that caught me. He should have really thought about what he was going to say there before he said it, because he kind of tripped over himself.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When it comes to narcissism, any content creator, including us, I am a narcissist. There's no doubt. I wouldn't be a narcissist. If I was doing this, you wouldn't be able to do it in any sort of successful way unless you had some sort of narcissism in you, right? I'm very realistic to the fact that there's narcissism embedded in my big head, okay? So I'm realistic to this. The fact that Ariel is pretending that he is not a narcissist and everyone else is a narcissist is just mind-boggling, because you have to be somewhat.
And Niall Flanagan just hit the nail on the head, and I always think this. If someone has the nerve to run around and point narcissists at other people, they're probably a narcissist themselves. If you're going to be like, oh, that guy's such a narcissist, or you're such a narcissist, you're probably a narcissist too. Like,
that's
there's
right.
a reason.
Let's go, you know? Narcissism. Yeah, so, baby.
I don't know. Like, that whole thing was just fucking weird to me. Like, and just listening to him, I don't know. The whole thing was bizarre, and I, like, it just seemed like he was just picking little things out of what Dana did and said in an effort to make a big story out of it. But it just didn't. It wasn't a good look for Ariel, in my opinion.
So listen, he's got this place of power now where he's got like 9,000 people watching him at a time. So he could basically say whatever the hell he wants, and people will just latch on to every word he says and be like 10-7 Ariel, like that nonsense, right? And it's just like, it's literally like this brainwashing thing that's going on. That's I'm a little jealous of. He does it very well. You know, he's literally mind controlling 8,000 people into just paying in his memberships, and it's wild. So credit to him for that, for being a good businessman. But let's, you know, call a spade a spade. The guy is the biggest hypocrite on the internet, and he's using these moments. He's trying to pretend he's protecting fighters, right? And he's crowbarring his agenda in there on his witch hunt against Dana White. Like, Dana White hates Ariel hates Dana White. They both hate each other. They're both going to keep on talking shit about each other. And now that Dana White hit a low spot in his freaking wife slapping career, Ariel's going out there and he's hitting the ground running. He's stepping on the gas and he's stepping on Dana White's head. Any opportunity he gets, he's going to shit on Dana White, right? Here, I got a little clip over here for you.
And so you could sit there at the press conference and do what happened on Saturday and try to damage him in the people's eyes on the way out. Say he wanted easy fights. He didn't want to be here. It's a waste of time, the dinners, all that crap that you heard. Or you can act like every other sports executive and be like, you know what? We tried. Boy, did we try. We just couldn't come to terms on a deal. He wants things that we can't offer him.
Let's get some advice from the journalist. Dana White has built the UFC. He literally put it on his shoulders. He took the Fertitta brothers and said, hey, you spent a lot of money. I'm going to take this thing to the top. Sold it for a gazillion dollars. Dana White slapped the shit out of his wife and is still standing strong. Somehow, he's able to dodge every damn bullet in the world. And a journalist, and Ariel Helwani, is going to give him advice how to handle things. All right.
But this is my point. Like,
that's a narcissist.
It's just, it wasn't Ariel's way. Therefore, he doesn't like it. And he's going to shit all over Dana because it wasn't the way Ariel would have done it.
It's ridiculous.
We just couldn't come to terms. And this happens in sports and it happens in business. He was a great champion for us. His win over Stipe was incredible. His win over Gane was incredible. It's been a great run. And if he does want to go out there and box, God bless. And if it doesn't work out, maybe we can revisit this. You could do this very easily and in a very normal, classy way, but
you know, he's a
but
promoter.
It wasn't that way.
He's a freaking promoter, dude. He's a promoter. God, give it up. Enough's enough. So silly. Well, the good news in this whole situation is the UFC's fine. And Ngannou's fine. He'll be just fine. Ngannou is going to fight for a gazillion dollars, whether it's boxing or whatever the hell he's going to do. He's going to make a ton of money, and he's going to be fine. He's going to be happy. And that's what matters. Ngannou got his way. Yeah. He got out of the contract. He's done with the UFC. He could do whatever he wants, and he can go along his way. It's great stuff. Like I said, as a UFC fan, are you bummed that Ngannou's gone?
Yeah, I am, because I've always been a big Francis fan. So I wanted to see him thrive in the heavyweight division and defend, and but I get it. I get why he's leaving, and honestly, I can't say I blame him, especially if he's moving on. Say he's taking a Tyson Fury fight or whatever. I mean, he's going to be getting paid millions. Like, there's no shame in what he's doing right now. And if the UFC's not willing to match him, then he just moves on. In fact,
well, they threw everything they could at him, and Francis just said no.
Well, but it wasn't what Francis had asked for, and that's fine. Like the UFC doesn't have to, but that means Francis doesn't have to stay.
Eric, so when they had the dinner, and Eric Nixick said, he said the UFC, they opened the pockets and they were going to pay him a lot of money. And then Francis said to him in the car afterwards, it's not about the money anymore. It's about the points, about the freedom. And I think Francis, he wants to do boxing, he wants to do MMA, he wants to do what he wants to do on his terms.
When they're signed with the UFC, isn't it like exclusive? Like they're not allowed to perform another.
They're not supposed to, but Conor did. So I mean, there are ways. That's the only thing I don't understand. I would love to ask Dana White. Like, this is why, like, it drives me nuts when you hear the media ask Dana questions and they don't ask, like, the questions that we need to know. Like, in the negotiation to keep Francis Ngannou, was it on the table that Francis could go to boxing, too? Like, he can fight in the UFC and go to, or is it just exclusively with the UFC, which I imagine that's what the case is?
I'm sure his most recent contract with the UFC had to have some sort of exclusivity on it, which is why he made the decision that he made. Because if he had the opportunity to move on to other divisions, I don't think he would have left. Yeah. I think he would have stayed. You mean
other not divisions?
I'm sorry, organizations. Yeah. I think he would have stayed in the UFC, made what he could make from there, defend the title. He was the freaking champion, So I think he would have stayed there and just dabbled in other organizations. But
you know why they didn't do it? You know why it's exclusive? Because Francis doesn't push the needle. That's why. If Francis Ngannou was Conor McGregor, and when there was a pay-per-view, the world stopped, he could do whatever the hell he wants. He could fight whoever he wants and come back to the UFC.
Yeah.
Francis, unfortunately, he's not that guy. He's the biggest, baddest, scariest man on the planet, but he doesn't have the gift of the gab. He doesn't get on the mic and do the whole, my foot was a balloon, whatever the hell it is, He doesn't do that stuff. So the UFC as a business says, hey, man, like, you have to stay with the company. You can't hold up a division, go box. You just can't do that. So I would imagine that was the case. So Francis wanted his freedom. He's got it. He's going to make a lot more money. The UFC is rid of the guy that's kind of a nuisance to them because, they couldn't meet eye to eye. And we move on. Like, honestly, who gives a shit? It's not like Dana says, hey, that M-word's gone. Let's move forward. Like, it's like that's what freaking Ariel's making it sound like. Like, Ariel's basically saying, Dana's like, yo, get rid of the moolie. Let's go forward now. Like he's not doing that. He's not. He's getting ready to sell the next freaking fight.
Well, I think what Ariel is trying to get at is that Dana, and I saw someone make this comment, is that Dana can't let a fighter go without scandaling their name or saying something like that. I can't remember what the exact quote was, but basically that every time a fighter leaves the UFC, Dana just doesn't let them go freely. Like, he always has to,
what he's doing is
smear their name.
He's downplaying it because there's a brand new fight. It's called Francis Ngannou's gone. Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane. That's it. Like, that's the new fight. So Dana White's got to play it down, and now he's got to talk about the next fight. He's got to basically say, hey, Francis doesn't want to fight guys his caliber. Like, that's what Dana White's saying. Do you think Dana White believes that? No. He's saying that because he's a promoter. Like, Ariel, we're not stupid. We know what Dana's doing. This whole fucking nonsense of you running around saying he's not a good man, he's not treating his fighters right. He's a fucking promoter. What do you not understand? And you morons following this idiot over here. Like, it's just nonsense. He's playing you like a fiddle.
Maybe it's getting under people's
crazy
skin because Francis was a very likable guy, maybe. And, I guess hearing Dana say things like that might have rubbed them the wrong way. So they're
what are you talking about? Oh, the fans, or are you talking about Ariel?
Yeah, the fans. So maybe that's why they're taking Team Ariel.
Here's the problem.
I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize.
The same people that are lunging to Ariel Helwani's defense are the same people that don't buy pay-per-views. They're the same people that troll on the internet. They're the same people that shit on the boss of a company that they love. These people are nut jobs. They're weirdos. They don't even know what the hell's going on. They don't even they're not paying for these fights. Those are the most vocal. Those are the people out there leading going on this witch hunt with Ariel because it's controversy. That's what it is. It's just everyone loves that drama and that controversy. That's why everyone's following along with Ariel. I got to be honest with you. I like the UFC. I enjoy the product. Francis is gone. We move on. And if Francis fights somewhere else, I'll watch that too because I like combat sports. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Dana White, such a meanie. He's such a mean human being. Oh, my God, woe is me, Dana White. Dana White doesn't do an interview on our show. Should I cry about Dana White? I've reached out to Dana White a gazillion times to come on this fucking show. Dana's never said yes. I have no fucking allegiance to Dana White. We don't even know each other. Like, we're just completely on different ends. I have no reason to defend Dana White. No reason at all. If anything, I should just jump on the train and shit on him too. I just don't understand the reasoning behind it. Makes no sense. It's crazy. Crazy stuff over here. Stop listening to that nudnik.
Wonderful.
Kanodo.
They should put Francis in a cage against all 1FC's lightweights, all at the same time. It'll be like those simulations where they pit a T-Rex against 1 million chickens. Go Giants.
There's a promotion out there. I forgot the name of it. I actually follow them and I can't remember the name. It's like some circus MMA promotion, not in the U.S., where they have like 3 little guys versus 1 big guy. And I got to be honest with you, I'd be all over that, right? Francis Ngannou versus a bunch of Brandon Morenos.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, that's what I need. Very good idea.
Super chat.
Fight circus, that's it.
UFC long-term binding contracts make slaves out of MMA fighters.
Okay. Then don't sign it.
I will say this,
don't sign it.
The fighters know what they're getting into the moment they sign that contract.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're acting like they're getting hit over the head.
Blindly, like the UFC is just hiding things from them, and then once they sign, they're locked into some horrible. everything is handed right in front of them. It's up to the fighter to read the fine print and see what they're getting
There's
themselves
no
into.
fine print. You're fighting X amount of
I'm
years for
saying
X
fine
amount of
print
money.
as in it's up to the fighter to read all the clauses of that contract and understand fully what they're getting themselves into before they sign it. So when they sign the contract, you can't really be like, oh, they're slaves of the UFC. They willingly put their name on that paper to do exactly that. You know what I mean?
When they put a slave in the cotton field, do they give him a contract?
And say, hey, do you want to do this?
What kind of stupid shit is that? When they put the slave pulling a tractor over there and they're whipping that poor guy. They're like, oh, here, sign this. You must sign this contract. No. These guys get contracts. They're like, okay, you're going to fight for X amount of fights. You're going to get X amount of dollars. Do you want to do it or not? If you don't, it's fine. Yes, we're the biggest organization out there. Yes, we have a little bit of leverage because we're that organization. But it's a business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a freaking business. And now the beauty is you do have your PFLs that are making moves and are spending money. It's there. And you got the boxing world that's spending boatloads of money for crazy fights over there. You got YouTubers that are making a ton of money on YouTube, going to boxing and making a gazillion dollars, beating each other up and doing all that stuff. So there's a lot of money out there besides the UFC. So if it's just for money, then sure, you have your options. Don't sign the UFC contract, go somewhere else. Or sign a UFC contract, make the name, and then when the contract's up,
Yeah.
you going to pay me?
Yeah, exactly. When you're getting ready to renew your contract, negotiate your terms, you know, like, and that's what Francis tried to do, and the UFC just wasn't down for it. So yeah, I don't buy the whole slaves of the UFC type of thing. It's just, I don't know.
Listen, the UFC is a business. Are they paying their fighters enough? No. Should there be health insurance? Yes, I agree. But they're a business, and people are signing contracts. Listen, they could fight wherever the hell they want. People can go to the PFL, win a couple of fights, and become a millionaire. You have that option. Like, it's there. You have options. You can go to boxing. I mean, you got to work your way up the ladder, but you do have the ability to fight a gazillion fights in boxing and become, you know, the $30 million champion. The options are there if you're that good, you know? So, I mean, I don't get it. Like, and the whole thing with Dana White, like, all promoters, I mean, all the successful ones, you know what they are. I got to be honest with you, out of a lot of these promoters that we've seen in past day, Dana White is just like them, but there's something that's more likable about Dana White. There's something a little bit more.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
He does not give a fuck about what anyone thinks of him, about what anyone says, about what anyone's willing to do.
Well, he's
here to do a job, and he does it well. And he knows he does it well, which is why he's completely impenetrable by fans and media and all of them. Like,
he took fighting in a cage to the fucking top. Think about that. These other boxing promoters were already doing something that was already there. Dana White took a blood sport and said, let's go. This shit's going to be the biggest thing. People don't like that. People don't like success. You know, people get like, they just hate that people are successful. And listen, is Dana White a good guy? He did slap his wife. So I don't know. Honestly, I mean, there's a good chance he's not a good guy. Is Ariel a good guy?
but we're not here.
I don't know.
We're not here to make judgments on their personality.
Exactly.
Like, this is part of the business.
Exactly. We're here to watch people fighting in a cage. That's what we're here for. In boxing, we're here watching guys fight in a ring. That's what we're here for. You know, what is this whole, like, this is not a good person. This person did say, like, what is this nonsense soap opera bullshit? It's crazy. Craziness over here. You're here to judge.
Since we're talking about Ariel, show the new memes on the Discord, smile.
I did see one of the memes that popped up. I didn't get it. Like, I got it, but I didn't get it. Here, let me pull it up here real quick.
Correction, Two Joints. We just judge your personality.
Let's see.
Aw, super chat.
Thank you guys for the donation. Brandon dropping a 10.
Dana will never allow Francis or any other current UFC fighter to cross-promote. It's a business, and when Francis or another fighter gets pieced up by Fury or Wilder, it won't reflect well on the UFC.
They took a shot with Conor, because Conor was that big name. Everyone knew who he was. He had the mouth. He was beating people up in the UFC. He was this whole thing. Ole, ole, ole. So the UFC took a chance. At the end of the day, he's got embarrassed, right? Floyd Mayweather embarrassed him. So, you know, the UFC kind of been there, done that. If Francis Ngannou was a bigger-than-life personality and he moved the needle like Conor, they might take another chance, but he isn't. So there is nothing that benefits the UFC. So he's right. Like, it is a business. Mm-hmm. Like, what do you want the UFC to do? Well, this is just a charity over here. We don't need to keep the lights on. Let's pay them everything. Let's let them do whatever they want. Let's let the fighters rule the world. Give them fucking 75% of the profit. Yeah, let's go. Like, no, it's a business. But then you got Whiny Pants over here. You got Mr. Whiny Pants over there, just like... Yeah. It's mind-boggling. All right, let's see. Oh, we got some more memes. Here we go. All right, so this one over here, I did laugh at this one. There was a lot of memes like this that popped up. And here's Ariel Helwani saying, "It was me." Do you think he was the one, Jess?
Definitely.
It's funny because of the whole reason why Ariel, I bet a lot of people still don't even know this, but the whole reason why Ariel has this beef with Dana, well, Dana has a beef with Ariel because Ariel let the news loose about Brock Lesnar. It's like the exact same thing happened here on another level as the faces are plastered across T-Mobile Arena. You know, so someone made an Ariel mistake and they asked Dana White, like, what he thinks about this. He says he's not happy. Dana knows, like, if this is a mistake, which I don't think it is, to be honest, but if it is a blunder,
it is not a mistake.
Yeah, this seems like a strategy like no other.
Because what are the odds that news this big comes out for a fight that everybody wants to see on a fight night, on the same fight night that will be the first media presser where people get to ask Dana White about the slap? You know?
Yeah,
it's just a cover-up. It's like a... You
can keep on burying the slap situation, and you could also bury the situation that Ngannou's gone. Like, they didn't even give Ngannou, like, his farewell. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ngannou said no, so they just bluntly move forward.
Yeah.
Now, if they were to say that this was done on purpose, it makes the company look bad. But if they say, oh, this was a mistake, this should have never happened, you know, what do you think? What do you think they would like? What do you think people would be saying? You know,
I will say this though, and everyone in the people's defense who are saying, "Oh, do you actually believe Dana?" kind of thing. Obviously, no one believes him.
No one believes him.
But I will say, Dana used to be a much better liar. Like when I was watching him at the presser on Saturday night, that look on his face was just so like you just could not believe anything that was coming out of it. And usually he's pretty good about like smoothing over a lie.
He doesn't care anymore.
And I think he's just getting older and he's forgetting how to lie. I think he's getting worse at lying. I think he's just getting bad at it. I don't know. Maybe. Like he used to have such skill, and I don't know. It was so transparent on Saturday. I was like, what happened to Dana White?
He's broken. He just slapped his wife in front of
maybe he's so distracted.
How many people?
That,
you know, everyone's trying to cancel him left and right. Now he's got Power Slap coming out, which is just so. Yeah, he's a broken human being. Here's the next. Here's the next meme over here. I think it's funny. Help me out here though. Like it says, "That's my secret, Captain. I'm always the victim," which is the truth. He's like every time I turn him on, he is just whining and complaining about something. You know, like, and it all comes back to him. You know, it's all about him. Mm-hmm. What's going on in the background?
I don't know. Isn't this from a movie? It looks like it's from Independence Day or something.
Is that what it is?
No, I don't know. It just looks like an Independence Day.
All right, so I do need. I mean, all right, help me out here. The Avengers.
Oh, the Avengers.
So that's Bruce Banner.
Oh, because Bruce Banner said, "That's my secret. I'm always angry."
Oh, is that
Remember?
What it is?
Yeah. So instead, it's
so
that's
he
my
smashed
secret.
everything up and oh, okay, yeah, right over my head. All right, I get it now. Very nice, very nice. Got it. Yeah. Listen, guys, you gotta. I have a nerd inside me, but it didn't get activated
this
with that meme.
Click.
Yeah, I need a little more explanation, but yeah, I kind of get it now. Very nice. Who made that? Kainoto?
Good. You could just go back.
This was Avengers Endgame, bruh.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, but I'm a fucking grown man. Okay, here we go. Let's see what else we got here. Oh God, Jesus, who did this?
Francis can go back to this.
You can read it out loud, guy, Jess. I made my first insensitive joke. You can make the second.
Yeah, I'm not reading this. You guys have
wrote
eyes.
this?
You can read it.
Who did this one? Sostako DVSV?
Oh, DVSV Flood.
Is that who? DVSV Flood.
He's been in the chat for a while.
We haven't seen DVSV in the chat.
He's been around.
Oh, really?
I don't know if he's in the chat still, but I've seen him.
Well, thank you for that meme. That was very, I'm pretty sure. Did Dana say that? Now, if Dana said this, you know what? If Dana said this, okay. All right. I get it. Let's cancel him. He didn't. He didn't say this. All right. What else we got here?
Oh, boy. Well, you know, it pretty much sums up, as ridiculous as this meme is, it does sum up exactly what their agenda was. Like, it's hard not to believe that this wasn't their agenda, to just distract.
100%. 100%. This meme is so accurate. It's so accurate. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? We all know what's going on here. And you know what? I don't care. Like, I honestly don't care. Like, it's not like it's fooling me.
I feel
it's
like
good.
just laugh with it and move on. Because, like, what are you going to do? I mean, they're dealing with it. There's nothing you can do personally about it. It's not changing your life in any way. So just fucking enjoy the fights and move on.
Yeah. Who put that one there? Champ Nosi. Let's see. What is this? What the fuck?
Yikes.
Are you kidding me?
Yikes.
Oh, my God, dude. Put this on Reddit immediately. Did he make this? Kainos made this? Oh, my God, dude. I'm dead serious. Put this on Reddit right now. Kainos, can we throw the watermark on that? Dude, that is like one of the funniest fucking things. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I can't. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, dude. Where does he come up with this shit? I'm telling you, he needs his own fucking meme page. Dude, that's hilarious.
You should just give Kainoto control of the Reddit page.
Yeah, do you want control of our Instagram account?
No, Reddit.
Oh, my God. That's fucking funny.
Have him just start, be our Reddit advisor.
Oh, my God, dude. I got that one. Thing if it happening right around the event starting seems questionable to me. The timing of it happening right around the event. Yeah, listen. All right, let me ask you in the chat. I do want to keep this poll up here. Should I take this one off? All right, yeah, maybe I'll take this one off. So here's the final votes over here. So it looks like Tyson Fury. What would you like to see, like next for Francis Ngannou before I take this thing down?
Tyson Fury for sure.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's
not
exciting.
Deontay?
Deontay's fun. But
what happened to Bomb Squad? You used to be Bomb Squad.
I love Deontay Wilder.
Yeah,
I always loved Deontay Wilder. But I think as far as what's more exciting and entertaining, I think Tyson Fury is the guy. I'm just realistic.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What happens if Francis fights Tyson Fury, right? Makes a ton of money and gets killed, like just annihilated.
It's extreme, but that's why it's exciting. Like,
so what's next? He just retires?
You know why? I feel like Deontay Wilder is probably going to get knocked out quick by Francis. If I have to.
So then take that fight. Wait. You think Deontay gets knocked out by Francis?
So you're going with what makes more sense for Francis?
Yeah.
I'm going with what's exciting as a fan. Obviously, what makes more sense for Francis is Deontay because I think he could beat him.
Wait, hold on. This is fascinating.
And Deontay's like a one-hit wonder. If he doesn't get that nice hook, he's not going to win the fight.
So you didn't even blink at Deontay Wilder losing to Tyson Fury in boxing?
Not at all. I think Francis Ngannou would murk Deontay Wilder.
By her saying that, I want the Wilder fight even more. They are the same age, right?
It would definitely be fun to watch for sure. I don't deny that at all. But the reason I think that Tyson Fury would be more exciting is because I think Tyson Fury packs a bigger punch, and I think that it would be
So you want Francis to lose?
No, I don't. I think Francis could stand a chance.
But you clearly want him to lose because you're.
I don't want him to lose.
So why the hell would you want him to fight Tyson Fury?
I just want a more exciting fight, and I think Fury kind of gives him a little more of a run for his money than Wilder. I feel like Wilder's a little bit of a layup for him.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting that you say that because, I'm thinking, the more exciting fight would be Deontay because you have Deontay Wilder.
It's kind of a layup though. It's not really
hold on.
Fun.
Deontay Wilder is the hardest hitting guy in boxing ever.
With one good hit.
Yeah.
He has to land that hit. There's
so
no
does
guarantee.
Francis, right? So Francis
isn't a one-hit wonder though. Francis packs a lot of punch.
You think Francis is a good boxer?
Well, we've never seen him in boxing, but I think he'd be all right.
I mean, just judging from his MMA striking, I think he would be okay. He's not the most strategic. He's not the most precise striker. He just comes in clubbering, right?
Yeah,
So-
I don't know. I think it would be more fun for Fury.
Wow.
But I'm not like against a Deontay Wilder fight. I just think Fury would be like
Wow.
more competition for him.
Interesting. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't think it's fun at all because I don't want to see Francis just get battered.
Well, I don't think he's gonna get battered.
He will. Do you think
Against
Francis has
Fury?
a? You think Francis has a shot against Tyson Fury?
Yeah,
I see zero.
I think
Zero
he has a shot. I just think it's gonna be a lot tougher for him, which is what makes it a more exciting fight.
Think about this. Deontay Wilder is not the best boxer, but he does box, right?
Yes.
And he's got that bomb squad power, right? And he did connect with Tyson, and Tyson did the whole
He's also been
back up,
knocked
right?
out.
What?
Wilder.
Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. Deontay Wilder has a way bigger chance of
getting
beating
knocked
Tyson
out.
Fury. Wait, what? Wait.
Wilder has a way bigger chance of getting knocked out
Okay, I'm.
than Tyson Fury. By Francis, in my opinion. I think Francis could knock out.
Oh yes. Okay. We're having two different conversations now. Okay, you're like throwing curveballs at me. I'm trying to stay on target here because I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that you're saying Tyson Fury would be a more exciting fight. The lead up would be more exciting because you do
it
have,
would be more competition. That's why it would be more exciting.
You don't think it's more competitive having two more evenly matched guys fight than
I
a
don't
lopsided?
think it's evenly. Are you referring to Wilder?
Yeah, Wilder
I don't think
versus
it's evenly matched.
Wilder versus Ngannou is not an evenly matched fight.
I think Ngannou could run Wilder over. I believe it. I have faith in Ngannou.
Okay. Yes, both guys have a chance in running each other over. Wilder has a chance of dropping Ngannou, and Ngannou
You
has.
think Ngannou can get dropped by Wilder?
Have you ever seen a man hit as hard as Deontay Wilder? Have you? I mean,
I don't think Ngannou could get dropped by him.
What?
Nah. No, I don't think it could happen. It's just my opinion. I don't know what you want me to, I'm not going to change my opinion for you just because you don't agree.
Well, I might not be the only one. All right. Wow. That's I've never seen anyone hit in boxing as hard as Deontay Wilder. I've never seen
I do
it.
think he can clip Ngannou. I just don't know if he can put his lights out.
You're okay. Well, all right. You know what? I mean, listen. You're clearly in the majority here. So I guess a lot of people agree with you, as 52% want to see Tyson Fury fight Francis Ngannou. I am baffled by this. Like I for some reason think you're trolling right now.
No.
Because honestly, if you
This
think
is what-
matchups,
I'm actually not trolling this time. I actually do think
I'm
Fury's
thinking,
more
what is the
exciting.
most competitive matchup for
Fury? Competitive?
I'm talking competitive, back and forth, like a back and forth fight. Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury is more competitive than Francis Ngannou and Deontay. If I put
I
Deontay
think so.
Wilder, think about this. Hold on, let me try to paint this for you. Deontay Wilder's the hardest hitting guy in boxing. Francis Ngannou is the hardest hitting guy in MMA. You could market the shit out of that and put them together in a ring.
Yeah, you could
And
market
now you
it.
got hardest hitting versus hardest hitting.
That's just marketing.
And but
You're
the
asking-
matchup alone.
Yeah,
we've seen Deontay
but
Wilder.
I never doubted the matchup wouldn't be good. I never once said the matchup would not be good. I've even said in the beginning that I think it's a good matchup and that it would be fun. I just think Fury would be more fun.
Tyson Fury gets in a ring with Francis Ngannou, he will piece up Francis to the point where Francis will look dopey out there.
I don't know.
Dopey.
I don't know.
What is Francis going to do?
I don't
is
know.
he going to just come forward like this?
We'll find
Like
out.
that's what we've seen. Like Francis comes in like the Hulk. And with those big fucking gloves he's going to be having on. And what do you think Tyson's going to be? He's going to be just dancing around like, get the hell out of here. And
We'll
piecing
find
him
out.
up. Wow.
There's only one way to find out if you're right or wrong.
I'll tell you what. I'm with Jesse now. I want to see Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder because maybe she sees something I
You
don't
don't
see.
have to switch sides. Just
I'm in because
just saying
I'm
this
sold.
because- Okay.
I'm sold now. All right, I'm going to take this poll out and I'm going to put a new poll in. All right? This is interesting. Wow. I mean, let's go. I'm with Tyson Fury now. I love Tyson Fury. For boxing, I'm a big fan.
I think they're both exciting.
I used to like Deontay a lot, but he's lost me, and it's not because he's lost fights. It's because the way he's
gas.
handled the losses and some of the things he said on the mic, I was like, damn, man, why'd you say this? This is kind of dopey. And he kind of lost me. Whereas Tyson Fury, when he gets on the mic, he's freaking hilarious. Like Tyson, and then he gets in the ring and just does his thing. Like Tyson Fury is such a pretty boxer to watch.
Yeah.
You know, he's an ugly looking human being. But let me tell you something. The man, when he gets in there, the sweet science that comes out of them gloves, it's just beautiful to watch. A big man like that with 6'7" move around the way Tyson Fury moves around. Plus, he's got power, too, as well. Unless he's got those loose gloves that Deontay. Remember Deontay was talking about loose gloves?
Yeah.
That lost me as well. But let's put this poll in the chat. All right, we got an interesting conversation. We got two different sides. Let's start a poll. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this in the chat. Which is a more competitive fight? Is that fair? Okay.
Yeah, listen, I'm not here to get people on my side. I'm just here to state my opinion.
More competitive, because maybe you might be onto something.
I'm not. I just based on the reactions in the chat, I'm not onto something. So I don't expect.
Maybe you are. I don't know. I mean, you never know. You never know. That's why we do this. Okay, hold on a second. Let me put this in here. Okay, here, Ngannou versus Fury. Wow. Ngannou versus Wilder.
It's OU, by the way.
Oh yeah, hold on a second. I'm sorry. OU? Okay, that's right now, right? Ngannou versus Fury. Ngannou, which is a more
competitive fight?
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's put this in the chat. You might be right. You might. I
don't know what you're getting out of this poll. I feel like you already know the answer. You're just trying to do it on purpose.
No, I know what my answer, but I've been wrong.
You know what everyone's answer is.
I tell you what, I was screaming and yelling for Deontay Wilder 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, I wanted Ngannou versus Wilder. Like I was foaming at the mouth. Hardest hitting guys, MMA versus boxing. It was just like, it's euphoric to think about. And honestly, Deontay should win that fight. He should. If it's in boxing, he should win that fight. In theory, considering that's all he does, right? But you never know. Puncher's chance. Deontay, you know, he relies on his power.
Yeah.
And Francis, just the last fight, you know, he started wrestling, right? So I hope we see Francis in an MMA situation again, right? I mean, would you be upset if Francis never competes in MMA again?
No, I know, because I'll follow Francis around anywhere. I'm like a Francis Ngannou stalker. Like I don't care what he's doing as long as he stays in combat sports. I'll watch him. And I'm not even the biggest boxing fan. I'm like the biggest casual you can get with boxing. But I'll watch it if Francis is fighting. I'll watch it for sure.
I loved Francis Nurmagomedov. I was in. I know he had an injury. I was in. I'm in. Like Francis Ngannou. Now with wrestling, I wanted to see more. I was interested to see what if, you know, he's been knocking Curtis Blades out, but what if, imagine him and Curtis Blades got into a wrestling match, like something happened in there, if Curtis got a third shot.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see him come back to MMA eventually, but I don't mind seeing him dabble into boxing.
Or even if he was wrestling with Jon Jones. Like, you know,
That's
John's like, hey, man, I don't want to fucking strike with this dude. So they start grappling with each other. Like, that's fascinating to me. You know, so it sucks that he's gone. We're not going to see any of that stuff, but hopefully we see him in MMA again somewhere. You know, MMA is where Francis belongs. I agree. I do. It's a bummer. It's a bummer seeing him go.
Yeah, because that's where we just watched his career shine. But I look at it this way: what's to say that his career can't shine in boxing? You know, for all we know, he goes in there and ends up being like.
Listen, I
know
want
it's
to be
a little bit of
wrong
a stretch,
so bad,
but it's possible that he could.
In a perfect world for me, Francis Ngannou goes in there, he fights Bomb Squad, he knocks him out, and they were like, "Whoa, you think he could beat Fury? You think Francis can go in there and beat Tyson Fury? Come on!" And then all of a sudden, the Tyson Fury fight happens, and then fucking Francis knocks out Tyson Fury. Oh my God, MMA wins, baby! Like, that would be nuts. That would be nuts. That's why I would like to see him fight Wilder first, because he has a better chance in that fight.
But
He's probably not going to win, but he has a better chance.
But don't you feel like if he does fight Wilder, and Wilder's been knocked out before, and Francis packs a heavy punch, so like if he does knock out Wilder, wouldn't it feel kind of like, I don't know, not satisfying to you?
Wait, hold on a second.
Because you're like, oh, well, you knew he could get knocked out.
Deontay Wilder was finished, one time, and that was against Tyson Fury.
But if he knocks out Fury, that's satisfying. because
Jess.
like I'm just saying like
If
that's my
Francis
mentality.
Ngannou went in there and knocked out the hardest hitting boxer ever, and he came from MMA, it is the
hardest
biggest.
hitting one-hit wonder who's been knocked out before.
You used to be so Deontay Wilder. Like, what
I
happened?
love Deontay. No, I still do. I'm a huge Deontay Wilder fan. I would love to see them match up. All I'm saying is it just wouldn't be as satisfying knowing Wilder's career history. You know, it would be more satisfying to see him knock out someone like Fury.
Oof, okay, let's look at this.
But
All right.
I'm not a boxing fan, so I'm just going.
I'm not
based
either,
off of
really. I'm not either. The only reason why I'm so fascinated by this is, you know, Fury and Wilder got me back in. Like when their whole trilogy thing was happening, like that got me back interested. All right, well, you do have 28% on your side there.
Yeah.
So we'll let that
Woo,
sit.
Go 28%.
All right. This is interesting.
That's all right.
What an interesting conversation.
That's all right. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
Well, we got some donations here. Let's play them.
Aw,
Thank you guys for the
super
donations.
chat.
We got a 10 spot. Eric, what up, Eric?
People act like these fighters are rocket scientists or something. What would they be doing if they weren't fighting? They should be glad that Dana gives them a platform to get paid.
You know what? You're right. You're right. At the end of the day, once you're in the UFC, you have the ability to build around it. You see the guys like Sean O'Malley, you know, go out there. Is Sean O'Malley the best fighter that the bantamweight division's ever seen? No, he's not. But he's put it together. He's got this whole, he's got the platform, he's got the gaming, he's selling the merch, he's got this whole style that's going on here, and it's working. Everything's working. And the UFC is giving him pass because he's doing his job outside of the cage as well. So the platform of the UFC helps out tremendously, right? Now, do these fighters deserve more? Of course. They do. They deserve insurance. They deserve a pension. They deserve more money. I agree. This is the 30-year anniversary of the UFC. How long has boxing been around? How many years? Think about it. Look up how many years boxing's been around. A lot more than 30 years.
For over 100 years.
I mean, we're talking a long-ass time boxing's been around. You know? The UFC's still young. The fighters now in the UFC are not going to make the money that the fighters 20 years down the line in the UFC is going to make. 20 years in the UFC, it's going to be astronomical, the difference between fighters now and fighters then. How many NFL players do you see from back in the day, the LT era, back in the day? These guys, you know, doing everything, getting hurt, coming out like quadriplegics or paraplegics or whatever the plegics that they come out, brain dead, CTE, the whole deal.
Boxing, oh my God. Boxing first appeared as a formal Olympic event in the 23rd Olympiad, 688 BCE.
Okay. UFC's got some catching up to do. You want them to make as much as boxing? Think about how long boxing's been around. But the UFC makes all this money. They're still a baby. They're still a baby. And unfortunately, the athletes that compete in the organization aren't going to make the money they deserve right now. It is what it is.
But
in time they will.
The 18th and 19th century is when it really started to take off.
The argument is silly. Fighter pay is silly. It's going to eventually go up. It is. Unfortunately, the fighters now are literally building the foundation of this company. And it sucks, but they've done it in every single sport. It's just, it's amplified now because we're in the era of social media and Ariel Helwani. Woo! Did you choke?
You hear that jam?
Wow, look at SCHAUB singing for us.
I'm really hoping to see Francis versus Kayla Harrison in PFL. And at least it's a fight Dana White could get behind as well.
Oh, God.
One's in the chat if you want to see that fight. One's in the chat if you want to see that fight. Would you like to see that?
Absolutely.
The donations always win.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Al Heyman wants to make Andy Ruiz versus Wilder. Wilder camp don't want that fight. Maybe Ruin's a big payday, I don't know. I think Wilder costs Andy.
Wow. I tell you what, I would like to see that fight. Now, there's a boxing fan right there.
What was the Andy Ruiz fight that we saw that everyone was up in arms about that he won? Was it Joshua?
He beat Joshua the first time.
Yeah.
But the second time, didn't they fight again? I don't fucking remember.
I don't know.
I don't even know. I'm not a boxing fan. I don't even know.
But I do remember
I think they fought twice.
The Ruiz-Joshua thing. And then when I saw who Andy Ruiz was,
Yeah, he's a big
I was
fat
like,
guy.
no fucking way.
Yeah. Listen, it doesn't matter. As soon as you can throw a nice combination, you're fine.
Aw, super super chat.
Joshua is like, I don't know. I feel like the biggest, like,
What is Masvidal's proudest performance so far? KO till then 3-piece and Soda Edwards, Askren flying knee, BMF belt against Diaz, or sucker punching Colby at Poppy's Steakhouse in front of Nelk Boys?
okay. The proudest performance so far. He literally got a tattoo of this. The flying knee on a guy that wasn't even a UFC fighter in Ben Askren. I gotta admit, I was duped by Ben. I thought he was better than he was when he came in. I was excited. Boy, was I wrong about that. But yeah, the flying knee was his peak. I understand he finished Till in his backyard, and that was a big moment. And he sucker punched Edwards, and he sucker punched Colby. But the knee's got to be it. He literally tattooed it on himself. Oh my God, what a mess. Thank you for the donation, Brandon, Isabel. Thank you guys for the donations. Appreciate it. How about you hit the Fukin like button if you haven't done so, and subscribe to the channel. Over here, we'll be live for UFC 283. That is this weekend, the first pay-per-view of the year, and you got the boys. By the way, I was looking at the, this. I'm like, what the hell's behind them? Teixeira versus Hill.
A 2.
And there's a 2. What's that about? There's 2 guys fighting? 2 titles, maybe?
Have they fought before?
Why is it 2?
Is this their second fight?
No, it's the first. It's the first time.
Why is there a 2?
Why is there a 2? This is on the UFC. I'm assuming maybe 2
Weird.
titles. It just says 2.
Yeah, why the hell is there a 2?
Is it a question mark? Is the Riddler there?
Maybe it's the titles.
This is a title fight, yeah. Well,
That's
this is it,
bizarre.
or maybe is this because it's the second time they're doing a title fight for the same belt? Like,
Second time's a charm, guys.
let's just forget the other one. Remember the pay-per-view bought for the last fight? Well, that didn't happen. This is the second time we're doing this. Is that what's going on?
Everyone's saying 2 titles.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this
Yeah,
is.
it's weird.
But
well.
is Glover? I got to bounce back this week. I had a terrible week on my bookie. You know, this was the worst week I've had on the gambling side of things. I had my worst stumble.
I saw. You are not on a roll this year.
It's all right. Well, I just started, but it's okay. You know, it's funny. Like I did so good last year, right? When it came down to the overall betting, when it came to straight up bets, I did fantastic last year. And you have your setbacks, and then you just rise to the occasion.
Hopefully, this is your only
over and over
setback,
again.
Moss.
And I have one bad week to start the year, and everyone's just like, "Oh my God, he's terrible."
Well, when you know why is because
you're not allowed to lose one week.
No, it's because you spent all of 2022 gloating about your.
It's a long game.
Yeah, if you're gonna gloat, you got to be able to take it when you lose.
That's all right. I play the long game, friends, the long game. But if you want to jump on me while I have one bad week, that means I'm doing something right. You know, if you're jumping on me every single week, losing every week, then okay, then I'm doing something wrong here. But at least it's 1 week. It is what it is. We move on. By the way, I made some, like the first 2 bets on the card were just literally just toss-ups. I don't even know why the hell I even threw those up there. But let me look at Glover. Is he the underdog in this fight? Because I think I'm leaning towards Glover in this one. He is. Oof. Like we probably should put the bet in before it evens out.
What?
What?
Why are you betting on Glover?
Wait, hold on a second.
I'm picking Hill.
What? More of a reason for me to pick Glover. You're picking
Remember
Hill?
when I told you when we were doing our who's going to be the end of the year champ
Jamal
for each division,
Hill.
and I said it was going to be Jamal Hill.
I'm telling you, Glover's going to choke him out.
And then the only way for that to be successful is if Jamal Hill wins.
Jamal Hill's got a chip on his shoulder. He does, and I like him a lot. I really do. I think the guy is he's fun.
He's got some hidden talent.
He's good. Listen, there's a reason why he's in this spot, and he's got that deceiving body. Like he doesn't even work out. You know, he doesn't give a crap. He doesn't care. Look at his tattoo
he's a
on
little
his.
fluffy.
Nothing about Jamal Hill cares. Like look at his face. Like he's like and then look at this tattoo over here. It's like Mickey Mouse with his fingers chopped off. Only a real man would walk around with that tattoo over here. And now he's fighting for a belt.
Man, you're so critical of Jamal Hill.
No, it's actually compliments.
No, you're making
dead
backhanded
serious.
compliments.
Listen, when you're dealt this hand and you got this body and you still don't give a fuck and you're fighting for a title, that's a real man. You know what I'm saying? That is a real man right there. And Jamal Hill is a real man. If you walk around with that tattoo on your chest and you don't care. If you go to the beach and have that tattoo on your chest and you don't give a fuck, you're a real man. You know what I'm saying?
Moss, I've seen some of your tattoos, and you're talking about
Real
this
man.
tattoo.
Which tattoo's worse than that one? I got some bad tattoos,
let's
don't get me
see.
wrong.
Let's
Find
take
the worst one.
Let's take a look here. How about this obnoxious tattoo right across
Well,
your
this is
arm, Moss?
awesome. What are you talking about? It's an awesome
My
tattoo.
God.
Well, you mean to tell me an awesome tattoo? I mean, that's the most awesome tattoo on my body. How is that worse than 2 fucking severed fingers? Severed hand, fingers, whatever the hell you want to call them.
My God.
I mean, I got an awesome tattoo. I don't know what you want me to say. That's pure confidence. But I got to be honest with you. I might get the same tattoo. My chest is open. So you might come home one day and I'll have a big bandage on my chest and you'll be like, what's that for? I'm like, I did it. What should I write? What does it say on the inside? What does it say there? Is it something that has to do with Disney World? Listen, I'm just joking. When it comes down to tattoos, I don't give a shit what you got as long as it means something. You know? It's got to mean something to you. It's a story. Tattoos, you can't be judging what people's tattoos look like. As long as it means something, that's all that matters. If you just got it because it looks cool, then forget it. She's still looking at my tattoos. Which one? Which is the next one? Venom? You don't like Venom?
No, Venom's cool. I like the Venom one.
Which one? Do you like the sheep? Dreaming.
It's like you've got fucking sheep
I got
jumping
sheep.
over a fence in your on your arm.
The fuck's wrong with my sheep? You don't like my sheep? I drew that one actually.
Yeah, why do you have sheep anyway? What does it mean? Is it personal?
Yeah.
Can I ask you
I
after
was
the
a
show?
DJ. I was a DJ.
Oh, is that the amount of women that you fucked when you were a DJ?
That's dreaming of music. They have headphones on and they're hopping over a fence. It's dreaming of music. I love music. How do you think I made all these great songs? It's about the
I'd
sheep.
love to know how you came up with the idea of the sheep.
Actually, the tattoo artist was like, yo, I really like that. He actually was like really down to do it.
Hilco Glover, Hilv Smith, and Smith wins inside 3.
Hill KO's Glover, Hill Smith, and Hill's inside 3. Ooh, I mean, listen.
How did they stencil this?
They just stenciled my drawing.
Did you have to hold your arm like this, or did you hold it out?
No, I just had it down.
They have to stretch your skin.
Yeah, I just had it down.
So what, you had it like this the whole time? You sat like this?
Yeah, no, I had it behind me. Like, no, he was behind me. It was like he was going to butt fuck me.
So what, you just sat there and you had your arm like this the whole time?
No, I was like on a chair.
How long was sitting? Was this 3
I was
hours?
on it. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I don't know if I was on it. I don't remember. I was either on a chair or on my stomach. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
That's crazy. That's dedication.
Do you want to talk about tattoos?
No.
We can talk about tattoos if you want.
No.
Okay.
We don't need to go there.
All right, where are we going now? So Gane versus Jones. Since we spoke about Ngannou and wish him nothing but the best. I just want to see him get paid, and if he wins one of these boxing fights, that would be amazing. I'd be very happy about that. But moving to Ngannou, Gane versus Jones, Jess. Who wins that fight?
Gone.
Gane beats Jones?
Gone.
Okay. Listen, I can't argue because Gane's the favorite in that fight. So you're in the majority over there. I can't bet against Johnny Boy.
Oh, man, you're picking chicken legs.
And let me say this. You ready for this, friends? When I did the stream, I don't know if you remember this, but we did an exclusive stream of champions at the end of 2023. I looked you guys dead in the eyes, and I said, you know who's going to be the heavyweight champion at the end of 2023? Before I even knew about Francis Ngannou leaving the UFC, or maybe I did know, I said Jon Jones would be your heavyweight champ at the end of 2023. And do you know what I got? Snickers from my co-host. I got Snickers from the community. It was almost like when I picked Glover Teixeira for being the champion many moons before he won his belt. Almost like the same thing. But yet again, Mystic Moss says Jon Jones would be the heavyweight champion at the end of 2023. Caught crazy criticism. How do I look right now, baby? How do I look right now? I mean, I'm telling you, crystal ball. I have a crystal ball. I literally plucked out Jon. I said, this guy, we didn't even know if he was going to fight. We didn't know Jon was even going to come back. And I said heavyweight champ at the end of 2023. Bow.
Well, he's not the champ yet, so relax.
Well, I might as well just crown myself right now as the most mystical human being in the world. He's got a good shot. But it's a tough fight. It is. Gane is, he's so good. He's like a giant wonder boy. He's
You're
like an
like a
oversized.
giant Wonder
He's like an
Boy.
oversized Wonder Boy at heavyweight. It's kind of annoying
Yeah,
how good he
Gane
is.
impeccable.
Wonderful,
Get it?
wonderful.
Those pecs. He's impeccable.
I missed the live stream, but I hope Francis fights Wilder. Then he can return to Cameroon and get those millions. Of course, let's not forget that Cameroonian AAA healthcare insurance plan in the village on Main Street.
What the fuck?
Much love, Holes fam.
Thank you, T Wood Hole. Thank you.
He would hold.
Jones looked terrible against Reyes. Gone for the finish. Well, that's a smart. So, what do you think? Because he because he looked terrible against Dominic Reyes. Instant win for Gane. What do you think?
Well, if you're gonna use that logic,
Yes. I mean, what better? You need your own show with that logic right there.
That's common core MMA math right there.
Listen, you could make a lot of paths to victory for Ciryl Gane winning this fight. I'm not saying that it is, hey, layup. But to say because Jon Jones looked the way he did against Dominic Reyes, that's why Ciryl Gane's going to win. That's an interesting strategy. That is very interesting. Now, the night of the Reyes fight, we thought, like in real time, and she still thinks that Reyes won that fight, but in real time, I was with her. I was like, oh my God, this is a crazy robbery. I actually watched that stream back not that long ago.
You changed your mind, didn't you?
I did change my mind. When I watched that fight back,
I still haven't changed my mind.
there have been so many fights. It's really bizarre. And I urge you guys to go back and watch some fights like that you were so confident on bad scoring or whatever it is. Go back and watch some of these fights and you're like, holy smokes. You're like in the moment. You're stuck in that moment live, and sometimes you don't see that clearly. And I've been there. I've been there. I did see James Lynch's channel was hacked. I saw that on Facebook, like right before I went live. And his password is no. But yeah, he got hacked. His Gmail got hacked. All his accounts got froze. I hope he got it back, man.
His Gmail. So,
Yeah.
Because YouTube is connected through Gmail.
That's
too.
the thing. Just change your code from 1234 to 1235, and you'll be fine. Get a message of him and be like, it's 1235.
Man, that's brutal. His whole life is on there.
Yeah, it's not cool. That is not cool. You got to be a real animal to do something like that. Anyway, all right. So you're saying Gane wins
Gone.
by knockout, decision. What do you say? Submission.
I'm gonna say. Gane's gonna knock him out.
Okay. Wow, a knockout. Oh my God.
I know this is a risky pick.
Oh my
but
God, Jon Jones.
I'm gonna go there.
I'd like to say, I mean, listen, Gane can do that. It's not like
Could
he
you imagine
can't.
Jon Jones getting knocked
No,
out?
I can't.
Jon Jones.
If you were to say Jon Jones versus Ngannou, I would say, okay, the chances, it's very live. You know? Because
Jon
Ngannou would
Jones
knock
getting
out a
knocked
fucking Toyota Corolla, Jesse. If you put a car, he would knock that car out. Ngannou. But right off the bat, as soon as I heard that they were making this fight happen, I mean, the initial thought was, this is better for Jones. This fight is better.
Why?
Because Ngannou, he has something, he possesses something that a lot of people can't get past. And it's that ferocious attack, that power that he has. And he's a massive human being that's scary. Like he can touch you and you're dead, you know? He's got the infinity glove on him. You know, we're talking Avengers here. He's like that guy with the glove. Thanos. He's like Thanos. He could snap his fingers, you're out. So he has that power. No matter how good you are, you could be the shittiest fighter in the world, but having that power is so scary at heavyweight. Now at Ciryl Gane, he's such a intelligent fighter. He's such a good striker. He's very. I mean, he's just getting better and better, and he's got limited experience. If you look at his record, not crazy stacked with wins, but he's done some special things with that limited time. He's so fancy-footed and so good, but I still think that Jon Jones can get a hold of this man, just like Ngannou did. Got a hold of this man and could drag him down. Jones got that. He has that. He has that.
I just don't see it, Moss.
And I'm not saying it's a clear-cut path to victory where Jon Jones takes him down. It's over. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I could see it happening. You know,
And I could see him
if Gane just stands
out.
there and pieces them up or stuffs all the takedowns.
Yeah.
I could see that happening too. I could, but I'm leaning towards Jones. I'm probably going to bet on Jones because he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, and he's training with Henry. He's been training with Cejudo for a while. Like, he's been bouncing back and forth, but he's not stupid. He likes to beat up a couple of women here and there, but other than that, he's not stupid. He's not a stupid guy. He puts himself in the right scenarios. It's almost like he knew this already by going over to Henry and training with him. It's almost like the UFC said, hey, man, I don't think it's going to work. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC hit up Jon Jones and said, hey, listen, this Francis thing's not going to work. You're most likely going to be fighting this guy or that guy. And Gane was probably on the list. And then that's probably when Jon was like, you know what? I'm going to go to fucking Arizona. I'm going to find that midget. And I'm going to make that midget do his magic, you know?
Yeah.
His midget magic. And we're going to fucking figure this out. Mm-hmm. That's what I see happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going Jones. Who do you have in the chat? I'm going to take this poll out. This poll is silly. But I'm going to put a new poll in the chat. I think it's a fascinating scenario here. Okay, so, all right. You good with this? Can I take this out now?
I'm good.
Okay. So there we go. Ngannou versus Wilder. All right. Here's the final poll of the evening. I will talk a little bit about the UFC Vegas 67. You guys were nice and generous with the donations. How about, bless you. You've been generous with the likes. How about you hit a little bit more over here? We want at least 250. You got some work to do, so smash up the likes. I appreciate that. If you're enjoying your time on this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Wednesday is going to be a fun show. We're going to have a super show at Super Creators, and then we're going to go into the Power Slap competition afterwards. So that's going to be fun on Wednesday, Fuqua Friday, and then the fight's 283. But let's do this poll. Okay. Who wins? Ooh, here we go. Who wins? This is going to be a good one. Jones, Gane, and begin. Okay, now this is what I'm interested in here. I am interested in your answers with that.
Super chat.
Brandon!
Thoughts on no BJ sleeping in first class plane?
What?
I don't have any thoughts.
What? I don't.
It's Odell Beckham, you saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know there's a plane story. I'm not.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it is. He's not on the Giants anymore, so I'm just kind of like out. Okay, before we get into the poll and the rest of the stuff for the evening, let's talk about our sponsor, CBDX.com.
If you want to get high, head over to CBDX.com. That's right, baby. This is not CBD. It will get you high. It will put you under the influence, so you must not operate any heavy machinery. You must be at least 21 or over to purchase, and you must check your local state laws before purchasing. Head over to CBDX.com and use promo code MMA-Holes. That's promo code MMA-HOLES for 20% off of your entire purchase.
Let's talk about betting.
Bet on all your favorite live sports, including MMA, at mybookie.ag. That's mybookie.ag. Use promo code MMA-HOLES for a 100% match on your first deposit.
And the best underwear in the game.
Yeah, treat your jewels like royalty with Sheath Underwear. That's SHEATH underwear.com. Use promo code MMA-Holes. That's MMA-HOLES for 20% off of your entire purchase.
We got some head rush action.
And while you're wearing sheath underneath, I messed it up. While you're wearing sheath underneath, make sure you're wearing head rush above. Head rush is provided with the highest quality, authentic apparel for lifestyle, MMA, and action sports enthusiasts. Head over to Head Rush with the link in the description below using promo code MMA-HOLES for 20% off of your entire purchase.
And ESPN Plus.
And if you want to watch all your favorite live sports, including the UFC, head over to ESPN Plus. But not just any ESPN Plus. Head over to ESPN Plus using our link in the description. When you use our link, you're also helping out the MMA Holes. So get on it, baby.
All right. Thank you to our sponsors. And if you'd like to support the show as well, you could drop a donation. Streamlabs or a super chat. We prefer Streamlabs because it plays funny songs. There's a link in the description down below. You can play whatever you'd like. If you'd like to support this show, drop a Streamlabs donation and be wonderful, wonderful. Also, Nightbot is spamming the weird donations in the chat as well. Okay. The heavyweight division is very interesting now. We have this poll in the chat, so let's just take a quick peek as we're just getting started with this. But who wins? Jones versus Gane. Wow. 67% picking Johnny Bones Jones. Jess?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not surprised, honestly. I think that a lot of people are going to be picking Jon Jones, especially it's that comeback, like allure and all that stuff. And he did great in light heavyweight, but people are forgetting that this is heavyweight. This is a whole new game for Jon Jones. And being on a long layoff, I think I don't think it's going to bode well for him. I think people are giving him a little too much credit going into this.
I just saw in the chat, someone said James he put a new channel up. Did he not get in? Oh, man. Hold on, let me just check. Oh, that's not cool. That's like really not cool.
This guy has kids, man. Like he has kids to support, and someone's doing this shit.
Yeah, I don't know where you came up with that. It doesn't say anything on his Twitter, unless his Twitter got hacked too. Let's see. Yeah, that's really not cool if that's the case. James Lynch. He said, yeah, his last thing was 5 hours ago. He needs the help. He's trying to get into the account, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I think that might be fake news. All right, let's go to the heavyweight division. So, the first person I thought of when Ngannou left, the first person that jumped into my mind, who did you think about when Francis Ngannou was announced that he left? Like, what was the first? Was it Jon Jones? Was it Gane? Like, who jumped into your mind?
When he announced that he left?
Yeah. Like, who?
Nobody.
No. You know who jumped in my mind? Curtis Blades.
Why?
I was like, damn. Like, if anyone is excited, it's got to be Curtis Blades.
I thought of anybody when he left.
Oh, my God. Curtis Blades has to be foaming at the mouth right now. Like, this dude, like, his kryptonite.
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense.
I mean, at least Stipe beat him once. Now, Stipe had a real tough time the second go with him. And I don't think Stipe is looking for this guy to, like, the boogeyman to Curtis Blades was Francis Ngannou. So with him gone, like, there's a clear path. Like, you could even say Blades could beat Jon Jones. Like, Blades' grappling is like, he's a big, monstrous man.
Why did they put that together?
How is Jon going to beat Blades? Going to front kick him? Like, what is he going to do?
Like, why didn't they put Jones versus Blades? Wouldn't that make more sense? They're just giving Jones the -- 1 on the rankings already. Like, he's
gone higher.
It just but what I'm saying is, like, Jones just has that privilege. He just gets to skip the rankings.
Wait a second. Why is Ivanov the #1 ranked fighter?
He's not.
What the fuck? Wait, look at your #1 ranked fighter in heavyweight, Jess. Did you see this? Wow, the UFC didn't waste any time taking his... What is going on here? Who's calling?
Someone's trying to call.
Oh, God. Like how stupid. Two Joints, like, what are you doing?
He's trying to derail the show.
Like, why? Why would you do that?
Gives him attention.
What's fucking wrong with you?
I fell off my shopping cart. And
Ninja!
then I fucking hurt so much. My muscular ass is sore. I let out my manly roar. I fell off my shopping cart. It really fucking hurt so much. My muscular ass is sore. I like to beat up girls with ease. With ease.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch. Oh, that's a beautiful donation right there. The $15 ouch. Ninja choke, baby.
I'm worried John will pop for roids. Pop his wife in the face in front of his kids. Pop a baby out of the pregnant woman he crashes a vehicle into. Pop cocaine into his nose. Or pop his head off the back of a cop car. Sorry, I'm a hater because I love Shogun.
Thank you for the $15 donation, Ninja Choke. What a beautiful donation right there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, what if Jay? So, who's on standby for that fight? Who's on standby for? And thank you, the Boxing Knowledge, for the subscribe. Appreciate that. We need you in the chat. We need some boxing knowledge. Is there anyone on standby for this heavyweight fight with Gane versus Jon Jones? Someone's got to be there.
It could be Blades. Blades would make sense. He's #4 in the rankings, right?
No, you know who makes sense, Jess? It's Ivanov. He's number one. He's the number one ranked guy. Look, you go to heavyweight. Look, heavyweight. Your number one guy is even. I mean, the UFC. They're really pushing this guy. How the hell did that happen? Yeah. So Blades is sitting at 4. You got Stipe. But Stipe said he's gonna be ready for March, right? Something like. Oh no, wait, no. This fight. Wait, when is 285? When is that scheduled for? Do you know?
I have no clue. Isn't that January 18th? The weekend of the 18th?
Hold on.
I'm not January. February. February 18th.
UFC 285.
I think it's February.
Maybe it is
18th.
February.
Oh, March 4th. Dang it, I was off.
All right, so Stipe. Oh, he said something about March, and then he'll be ready for the winner. You kind of have to put Stipe in if he's ready for the winner of that fight, right? I mean, that's fair.
Stipe. Oh, come on.
You gotta.
This Stipe shit.
I know you're not a big Stipe fan, but he's still sitting at number 2. And he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Wow, Stipe's got to be foaming at the mouth too, though. Like, think about it. He's got to be foaming at the mouth. I tell you, Stipe Jones still makes me interested too because of the Daniel Cormier connection. Another guy you got to look at is Pavlovich. Damn, man. Wow. I tell you what, Pavlovich might be the guy. Is everyone looking against looking past the Russian? Like, this dude is incredibly scary. He might be your guy, Michael Cera. Super bad over here. McLovin's buddy. This might be your guy. This is probably the biggest problem right now. He's looked so good. It makes things interesting with Ngannou out. And he's getting injured and he's not really fighting that much.
It's not as exciting of a fight though.
He's not very active. Holy smokes, Pavlovich might be your guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like people are gonna get hyped up for Pavlovich.
So Blades was the one that jumped out just because of his connection with Ngannou. But I mean, we do have it. Heavyweight got interesting again. It did. Even with Ngannou and he was interested. But Jon Jones ignited the division for me. For some reason, I'm more excited now about this division. Aspinall's another one. He had that freak injury. But Tom Aspinall was on a trajectory that, he looked like he was on a crash course for a title shot. Really fun, man. So you got Aspinall, you got Tuivasa, who's been exposed. Let's be honest with you. Tuivasa is fun, but he's not a champion. Curtis Blade, but you never know. Heavyweights sometimes, I don't know, they hit their stride, and next thing you know, they got gold. You never know. But Curtis Blades, Pavlovich, Miocic, Gane, Ivanov. Why is he there? Jon Jones. Wow. Damn, man. Heavyweight is pumping, baby. Let's look at this poll. Let's see if anything shook up on this poll. We got $170 with 91 votes. That is not wonderful. What are we doing? Get your votes in. Get those votes in. Top of the chat. Jon Jones, 62% over to 38% Gane. So it looks like people are with bones. All right, let's see what's going on in this chat.
Everything depends on Jones' chin because he is going to get hit versus Gane. Is Miocic retired or about to? I think he should be retired already, but Elon sucked James into the Future X app. AATK says do chronic. 38% casual says King James.
Yeah, who do you guys think is the scariest guy on the heavyweight roster now? With Ngannou gone, Ciryl Gane, who do you think is the scariest guy here besides Ivanov?
I mean, Blades is pretty scary.
Yeah, I think people are looking past Blades.
Super chat.
Blades is...
Pavlovich is the scariest fighter at heavyweight.
There you go. Brandon says Pavlovich. I mean, you could make an argument for him. You could. He looked terrifying against Tuivasa. I still think I don't know. Like, I think Ciryl Gane is the full package, though. Like, Ciryl Gane is so smart of a fighter that I feel like he should be the guy we should be really talking about. Jon Jones, we still have to see him fight. So that Ciryl Gane fight versus Jones is going to tell us a lot. Miocic is taking a long break, but he's still Stipe. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Curtis Blades has proved that he has some really seriously good grappling. Tuivasa is what it is, but Aspinall's another one you got to throw in there. I don't know. Derek Lewis, I don't know what we could do with him anymore. And then that's it. I'm kind of good. Then it kind of falls off for me. But yeah, let me know in the chat, who's the scariest heavyweight? And then after this, I'm going to move into just a quick recap of UFC Vegas 67. And then we out of here, baby.
Gane's personality is fucking boiled chicken, no salt. Gane is so smooth on the feet. Blades and Pavlovich look at champions Moss. Blades fails when it matters. Aspinall.
Well, he fails when Ngannou's involved.
Pavlovich has 2-inch reach over everyone. Aspinall or Sergey. No love for the Black Beast. No wrestling. Love that dude. Moss, you got to pick better, man.
Well, I guess you haven't been watching the show long enough.
Look at the women's flyweight champ, Moss. All the rankings are messed up.
Are they really? Let's see.
She says Amanda Rebus, but it's a picture of Zhang.
What the hell's going on? They're on crack, man. The UFC website's losing their mind. Amanda Hebos is your flyweight champion. But she looks weirdly like Zhang Wei Li. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's some interesting things in the women's divisions. We'll get into it. There's a young lady that's coming back that I think's going to make some noise. When she does come back, we'll talk about it. All right. Let's see what we got here. I do want to talk about Strickland's big win. Whatever shit takes. Thank you for re-upping your membership. Green Belt champion, baby. Thank you, champion. Champion of the chat. The champion of the chat. Okay. Sean Strickland, what'd you think of his performance?
I mean, better than I thought it was going to be. I was betting against the guy. So, I'm pretty surprised. Good on him.
Yeah.
He should be proud of himself.
Sean Strickland getting a decision win. Shocker, right? I mean, we said it. Before the fight, I didn't pick Sean, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got the decision win. He knows how to do those. He looked better in this fight to me enough. Eric Nixick was talking about Strickland in his last fight, saying that you got to add the razzle-dazzle to win the judges over. If you're going to go to a decision and you're going to win by points, you got to do the little things in the fight in order to get those judges to go in your favor. And he didn't do small little things to put him on top of Cannonier in that fight, and that's why he lost that thing. In this fight over here, he did the little things. And his cardio held up, which was very impressive. And he was holding him against the fence, trying to slow down the pace, looking for takedowns, like doing different things. Eric Nixick said that the calf kick was the one thing that he did not do and he was looking for. So if Sean threw that, he would have had the perfect game plan over there. But Sean didn't do that. But it doesn't matter. He got the decision. Even though he was 10 pounds heavier, it didn't matter because he was at 205. Short notice, win over a solid fighter. That's a good job by Sean. It really is.
Yeah,
Puts him right back in the mix, you know? So even if he lost that fight, I don't think it would have been a big deal because it was catch weight, this and that. But the fact that he got the win and he was good on the mic, he was great post and pre-fight on the mic. I thought it was very funny. So Sean is there. He's back in the game and coming in on short notice, making a bag, saving a card, ending the year, coming back, getting another win, getting a win to start the year. A really good start to 2023 for Sean Strickland. So I don't know. What do you say in the chat? What do you think about Sean? I see he'll never be champion, but what do you think? I mean, this is a good
like I said,
position for him, right?
He should be proud. I mean, I don't have any negative things to say about him.
Okay, let me see if he put anything on IG. Actually, he did. He went snowboarding. Oh, I put Sean and Sean O'Malley comes up. Oh, you motherfucker. Sean. Where are you? All right. I don't know where he is. Anyway, there's a picture of him snowboarding or something like that. Okay, let's see what the chat thinks about Sean's performance.
UFC lawyer Hunter, all I ever dated, never did dykes, says King James. Threesome with lesbians is unmatched. YS says it's always fun when Sean is relevant.
Yep, I agree.
Strickland is the Nate Diaz of the next generation. Jeff Lynn says, I stopped watching sometimes. Stream is more fun. Sometimes no even rewatch. I don't know.
Wait, wait, hold on a second. Okay, so all right, I'm glad this guy's in the chat. He's a green belt. Yeah. Seems like a nice nice fella. But I never understand what he's saying. And maybe that's good because I can remember him. But Jeff, thank you for stopping by. Are you from the States? Where are you from? Or are you constantly high or drunk? I look at the comments in the in the comment section. I'm like, what is this guy even saying? Like, I don't know if it's criticism or if it's compliments. It's like mumbo jumbo.
Kind of like both mixed into.
It's so weird. Like, I think he's supportive. He's a member, for God's sake, so he is supportive. I just don't know what he's saying. So, Jeff, if you could explain yourself in the English language, that would be wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
I appreciate that. I have no idea what he's saying. I never know what he's saying. It bums me out because I'm like, oh, I kind of want to know what this guy's talking about.
Lord Sarkin, I think is how you pronounce it, says they're going to fire Sean for saying he has CTE from fighting. I did say...
What?
Yeah, I saw on...
You're going to fire what?
On Saturday night during the post-fight press conference, I don't know, maybe he was making a joke or something, but he said he had like brain damage from fighting and he had to let his brain recover, and he was like kept making comments like that, and the whole chat lit up that apparently, I don't know how true this is, but if a fighter makes any comment relevant to having brain damage from fighting, that they can ban them from fighting indefinitely.
What?
So I don't know how true it is, but everyone in the chat was like, why did he say that? He shouldn't have said that.
Oh
blah,
my God.
blah. Like, it was like a whole thing.
Sean Strickland gets that. Some people have weird passes to say anything, right? And I think Sean's one of those guys. Honestly, this guy said some incredibly controversial things in a very sensitive society, like a society of JJs of the chat. And
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how true it is. Like I said,
I don't think it's true.
I was surprised how many people were like jumping on it. They were just not thrilled about the fact that he said that. Because
people are dying to cancel. Like that's how the mentality is. It's like why people are like, it circles back around to the whole Ariel thing. Yeah. Everyone is waiting for the opportunity to cancel someone that can say things they can't say, to do things that they can't do.
No, apparently the whole thing is like, if a fighter, any fighter, makes any comment about head trauma or CTE or anything like that, or brain damage, that they can't legally allow them to continue fighting or something.
I don't know how true that is.
I don't know. Maybe they can't legally allow them to continue until they get examined. I don't know. But that's what I was like, that's interesting. Everybody's jumping on it.
It sounds
I had no
ridiculous.
clue.
That sounds ridiculous. I don't think that's the case. Did anyone else hear about that? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
You know what's weird? I saw someone put in our Discord the thing about Phil Baroni and about him killing his girlfriend. Dude, first of all, who found this? Let me see. Let's give this guy a shot. Maybe we should get this guy in one of our MMA Justice League groups. Let's go to the Discord really quick here.
Did you get James Lynch in the Justice League?
No.
Why?
Should I?
Yeah.
I feel like he's always busy and honestly, I asked him a couple of times and he's got things going on. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I like James, but he's always busy.
Extend it, and if he says no, he says no.
No, I'm good. You know, I like James a lot. Yeah. I actually consider him in this space. I consider him a friend.
He might need the Justice League now more than ever, now that he lost his
channel. If he lost his channel, of course I would put him in. But you know, he can reach out. He knows where I am. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he watches the show regularly.
He's subscribed. He's been subscribed for a little while, you know?
Oh, he's been subscribed. Sounding a little salty.
He can reach out to me. Listen, here's the thing. I'm done. I'm making my Justice League over here. Yeah. I've helped out so many other fucking channels. It's time to come back. It's time to help out little Mystic over here. You know what I'm saying? For 6 years, I've been helping everyone else out. I'm done. If you want to, if we're friendly and you want to jump on, hit me up. You know where to find me. You know where my DMs are. You just slide right into the DM. Hey, Mystic. Can I come on the program? Yeah, sure. All right.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
What was
you
that?
scratch my back, I scratch it. It's like enough.
Sure.
Enough's enough. How many charity cases am I going to get? I mean, come on. But no, I like James. He's a good guy. I have nothing wrong with him, but reach out to me for once, all right? Okay. I'm not going to fucking, what am I doing here? Okay. Let's see. Where is this? Okay. This is pretty funny. Hold on a second here. All right. There's a couple of more memes in... I don't think I could show that one.
All right, well, I do have to bounce. So I'm just going to
all right, hold on. Before you bounce, let me show you this real quick.
Okay.
I think just a bunch of people are trying to call now. It's like 2 joints did it, so everyone's like, yeah, let's call the show now. That's cool. Let's see. What's this? Oh, he was trying to call too. Like, what
No, he wasn't trying to call.
Yeah. No, there was a one there, so he was. Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, here it is. I never saw this channel before, but I subscribed because look at this guy. So this guy, this guy over here, man. His name is John Bravo Films. Who found this guy over here? He did a thing about Phil Baroni's shocking autopsy details. He does like a documentary style thing, but he inserts his personality in it. And I think he's like a bodybuilder or some shit like that. It is the funniest thing ever, but it's really well. Look at him. he's like a bodybuilding Zoolander type dude. And I think I might have to fucking reach out to him and get him in the MMA Justice League. He does like weird angles. He has like a really cool documentary style, and he's talking about this whole thing with Phil Baroni and his girlfriend. And apparently Phil Baroni not only murdered his girlfriend, but he like did like nasty crap to her when she was dead, too.
What?
Yeah.
How true is that?
Yeah, he did.
Before you start running around saying shit like that, you need to do some fact checking.
Well, I listened to the bodybuilder over here, and that's what he said.
But where did the bodybuilder get his facts?
So the guy,
start spreading
no, there's
things
an
like that
MMA
until-
journalist that he had on here. Okay, wait, were you defending Phil Baroni?
No,
Like, what
I'm not. In no way am I defending what he did. I'm just saying before we start,
God.
you know,
Trust me on
spreading
this.
things like that.
Let me just say this to you. Phil Baroni is not in a good place, and he is a very disturbed CTE minded man, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble for when he gets fucking convicted of whatever the hell happened over here. Like, he is mentally ill. And it's probably because of CTE or all the steroids he pumped into his body or all the brain damage that this guy has. It's a sad fucking story, but there is no excuse. I don't care
I'm not
about
saying
what
it
the
didn't
mental illness is.
happen. I'm just saying, just make sure that your facts are.
He's a
straight.
detective, yeah. So this guy that he had on is some sort of like MMA detective or some shit like that. It's not like listen, the allegations that he's stating in this video, it's not something you're like, well, I heard. No,
Yeah,
you
you
have to get it
definitely
from a
don't
reliable
want
source. Watch this documentary thing over here.
Is it gonna bother me? Because if it's gonna bother me, I don't want to watch
it's
it.
incredibly disturbing. But
Then I don't wanna
the
watch
funny part about this guy's documentaries is he breaks it up with like these like dramatic shots of him, like his fucking side profile, like and his beautiful, stunning blue eyes, as like so he's talking about this, and then it cuts to this, and he's saying some of the most disturbing things with his fluffed up hair, and like it's just like it's the perfect storm. In the middle of it, this is what cracked me up about the whole thing. An ad pops up about like some sort of like, I don't know, creatine or whatever the fuck, like bodybuilding stuff, and it says skip ad, but it's like perfectly, oh, where is it? It's perfectly placed in there, so I'm trying to hit skip ad. I'm like, where the fuck? I don't want to watch this. It's his ad, but he made it like it's like you could skip it. You can't skip it, and it's in the middle of him talking about this girl getting mutilated or whatever. Like, it's fucking nuts. But he's very good, very talented guy. Go subscribe to his channel, and let me know what you think about this crazy story, man. Phil Baroni, ugh, nuts, man. His name is John Bravo Films. Just found him, courtesy of the Discord. So shout out to the Discord, man. It's crazy, man. There we go. Damn Savage put it in the chat. I get nothing from this. I don't even know the guy. But yeah, after this stream, go over there, check it out, and then come back to this comment section and let us know what you thought about it.
Why would you want to know that information?
Because he's a guy that's very well known in the MMA scene. He's a guy, too, that Dana White said, hey, man, you should stop fucking fighting. You can't be doing this to yourself. And Phil's like, yeah, fuck off. I'm going to keep going. And just kept on getting brain damage with bare knuckle. And did you see what Chris Lieben did to him? Like, it's wild. That Phil Baroni's a tragic story. Because the guy could have been, like, he was a popular guy. He was like a bad guy. But he was just, I don't know, complete head case and too much brain damage. He shot on her face.
Did you take, Moss?
Yeah.
Did you take Ellie's,
Dude said he shat on her face.
Why is that funny to you? She literally just died.
Okay, all right. I'm not laughing at the death. I'm laughing at the knucklehead Boss Koger that said that. Like, it's just such a stupid thing. Go ahead.
Did you take Ellie's tunnel off of the umbrella?
No. Still there. Why?
It's like pouring rain right now.
Well, it's going to get wet. All right. Yeah, babe, you want to say anything to the people?
No, I'm out.
Okay. Say goodbye to Jessie. She'll be back very soon. And breaking news, Phil Brony shat in his girl. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. I know, it's not cool. I agree. It's not cool, but it's funny. Okay. Let's spread that rumor. All right. Okay, I'll hang out. You guys want to hang out for a couple more minutes? I'm not going to hang out much longer, but we can hang out for a couple more minutes. We'll shoot the shit. If you guys are hanging out, I appreciate it. Hit that like button. And I got a couple more memes that I didn't show you guys, so I'll show you those. Jump in our Discord, free. Links are in the description. Okay. All right, what else we got here? Dude, this meme is hilarious. Okay. The Dana White one, the one that Damn Savage put in there with the girl, I would like to put that in, but you know how YouTube is, so I'm going to kind of pass on that one. Let's see. Dillashaw caught cheating. Dillashaw, my punishment. Here's my punishment. I have to live the rest of my life and be labeled as the guy who cheated. All right. All right. Thank you. We got the Chun-Li one. This one, if you missed it earlier, hilarious. Because it's just so ridiculous. But there's Dana White taking care of his wife. There we go. That one's probably going to go in the... that's probably going to go on Reddit tonight. What's this? It's pretty good. Oh my God. All right, so here's Dana White. He's with some broad. I don't know who this girl is. Does anyone know who she is? She's big, huh? She's a tall girl. So he's all happy hanging out with her. And then you scroll down to the comment section. Great restraint by Dana. Didn't even slap her once. It's so stupid. I know the slap jokes are old. You heard one, you heard them all. But I don't know. It kind of... That one made me laugh, so... You win. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Here we go. I've seen this one all over the internet. The dude's mom that got in his face was practically making... Does he have... I just realized this. He has UFC shaved into his side of his head. So he got pop in the background. He just fought this weekend. Didn't work out well for him, but the mom got in his face and got all crazy. Her hands are all tattooed up. She's like doing witchcraft. Latina moms, when you forget to take the chicken out of the freezer. It's pretty accurate. It's not funny. That's just accurate right there, right? There you go. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Okay. All right, I just want to see if there's anything else on this card that I want to talk about, and then I'm going to get out of here. So, man, Damon Jackson got... I got it out to him, and I just feel so bad. I just want to kind of let him do his thing. He put out something on Instagram, and he's okay. He did get poked in the eye. He showed that his eye was, like, really screwed up. But, yeah, it wasn't his night. Ige, Extreme Couture, on fire, even though there was another fight over here, not so much. As Soriano had a rough outing, but Ige had to follow that and bounce back very nice, and Sean Strickland. So, you know, out of the top three, Extreme Couture got 2 of them. So good job over there. Raquel Pennington with a massive win, and Kopylov too. Kopylov looked great, man, over Soriano. Got the finish in the second round. Raquel Pennington getting the win over Vieira. That's a really solid win. That's 5 in a row for Rocky Pennington. So good job for the Melted Candle. Umar Nurmagomedov, I mean, you have to... Incoming gold belt. I mean, Jesus. What he did to Barcelos, and then how he, like, handled it afterwards, like, he held his head. Like, he was, like, supporting Barcelos' head, like, hey, ref, you could have stopped this thing. I just beat the living shit out of this guy. And just, like, holding it there. He's like, he's okay. He's not doing too well right now. Dude... Striking on this kid Umar on top of his grappling. Oh, hold on.
You make him lose the fight terribly inside of the cage. You make him spread his ass cheeks. Now you enter his backstage, and you fill it with your rage. Come on, style bender, one fight. Izzy is inside COSTA. Izzy is inside COSTA.
Come on, Ninja Choke. Get inside COSTA right there.
MOS, I had the honor of meeting Phil Baroni in a strip club in Las Vegas when I lived there in 2007. It was 6 a.m. or so. I was picking up a friend who was a go-go dancer there. He was clearly cracked the fuck out. I complimented him on his pride fights then.
Wow. Sad, man. It's sad that, you know, this is all these fighters know, right? It's all they know is to get in there and just compete and beat up other people, and to have people experience the brain damage that some of these athletes get it's an unforgiving sport. It's a good story, though. Thank you, Ninja Choke, for the 450. Appreciate that. Let's see. Rocky is doing good. Yeah, Raquel Pennington looks great. I want to thank the donators tonight. Appreciate the donations very much so, for being wonderful.
Wonderful.
Let's see. The cartel will take Phil out to prison with... yeah, he's in a Mexican jail, right? So, boy, oh boy. Yeah, go watch that documentary if you haven't seen it. It's really messed up. Yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov. I don't think he's going to be a champ by the end of 2023, though. 2024, you may want to just lock it up for Umar Nurmagomedov. Big win for Basharat over there. A solid performance against an undefeated guy. Got the unanimous decision. Al Hassan made a statement against the Ribeiro, and that's the guy with the mother that was all up in the face, all up in the grill. Al Hassan really needed that win and got it done. Then got on the mic and called out Joaquin Buckley, and Buckley had a response. Listen, I like that Joaquin Buckley is, you know, he's trying to play the social media game. He just got knocked out by Chris Curtis. But he is very cringe. Okay, so here is him responding to Al Hassan.
Fight that bitch ass Buckley again. If anybody see him, tell him I say he's a fucking bitch.
What?
Right? He's a pussy. Can I say that? He's a fucking pussy, like a big ass pussy. Okay, so I know it's a fight game, but when you talk so much shit, right, and you stand in front of another guy and be like, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. Okay?
Bruh.
We have an agreement.
Buck!
Let's go.
Yo, Buck, bro!
Set up the ring.
Yo, Buck!
Fucking bad.
God damn, man. Ooh, that pasta really fucking with my ass. Knew I should never had that shrimp. Oh, shit.
Like, what is going on here? Chris Curtis just put him in the shadow realm, and now he's making these bits. Like, you want more?
What's up, man?
Yo, bro, this man out here tweaking.
Who you talking about?
Razak, that's not, bro.
Razak?
Yeah.
You talking about Al Hassan?
Yeah.
That motherfucker that threw down and beat up for like 3 rounds?
Yeah.
What that nigga talking about?
Oh, bro, you gotta check this out. Go to your Instagram.
All right, hold on, man. I'll be out in a second, man. You know that shrimp I had, man. Just fuck with me right now. Woo. Shit.
It goes on and on. Go check out his Instagram.
Wonderful.
It goes on and on. All right, so Rebecca got the unanimous decision. The rear naked choke for Nascimento, and Agueda got the unanimous decision. Bunch of favorites in the beginning getting the wins, and then it went the other direction with the underdogs, Raquel Pennington and Sean Strickland getting the underdog victories on this UFC Vegas 67 card. So it was an okay way to jump back in. It wasn't the best card. Now, I want to end on this. I've been hard on, Sean Strickland, his fighting style. I respect him for taking this fight on short notice. I respect him for being a dog, man. The guy is always in there. He's always moving forward. He's always trying to be aggressive. It's just a matter of, I never feel that his opponent's going to get knocked out. I never feel that. I just feel like it's just going to be points. Sean Strickland, if you have him fighting, it's almost like Caitlin Chukagian. You're going to be guaranteed a decision win, or he'll get knocked out, like Alex Pereira did. So that's my problem with Strickland. I'm hoping that he mixes up the wrestling a little bit more and maybe we see some more, you know, I don't know, different tools activated in his fights, or maybe we go back to the days where he's just talking a lot of smack. He doesn't really do that anymore, but I get it. He's at the top, so he's just trying to collect wins, and he's just trying to cash checks, so I get it. But as a fan, I really hope that his fights can somehow mirror him on the mic. If we can have a beautiful marriage between the two, I mean, Sean Strickland's the guy. He's the guy. But what do you think about Sean Strickland? And we'll get out of here. Sean Strickland is one of my faves. Terrible comparison. I'm telling you, man, it's just like, do you ever... Listen, I like Sean a lot. Like, I want Sean to win his fights. But you have to admit, like, if Sean Strickland's fighting, you're like, okay, this is going 5 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that Sean, like, if Sean's going to win, it's going to go to the decision. You know, it's not like, okay, Sean in 3, Sean in 2, Sean in 1. That's not even an option. You know? So that's my problem. Let's see Strickland beat a top 5 now. I hope he does. I really hope he does. Strickland gets knocked out by Izzy. I really want to see him fight Izzy. Like, I would love to see the lead up to that. I would love to see, like, what he's got, like what kind of game plan he would bring in there for a guy like Izzy. I would love to see that fight. I hope it happens. I'm not a Sean hater anymore. Yeah, it's like, here's the thing. Him on the mic, he's just funny, man. Like, you can't really take him too serious. I could understand people getting offended, you know, about if he's attacking a country or he's attacking all these people, the journalists' looks and whatever. If you're like, I don't know, if you're sensitive and you don't like being, you know, made fun of, I don't know. Okay. Maybe that's not your type of humor. All right. But, you know, he doesn't care. And he tells you what he sees and he says. That's it. There's no thinking involved. He just sees it and says it. Wrestling-wise, bad for Conor. Justin, post-fight was funny, but he built this sport. So you're talking about Conor McGregor? All right. All right, I'm good. Let's see. The poll has 66% for Jon Bones Jones over Ciryl Gane. Okay, I have a homework assignment for you guys. This does nothing for me, but I'm actually curious what you think about this. Throw a curveball at you guys. This guy's video over here, I don't even know him. I found him through the Discord, or the Peoples threw him in there. I thought the video was very interesting. His name is John Bravo Films. If you want to go over there and drop a wonderful, wonderful just to fuck with him, like he doesn't know, just put wonderful, wonderful. He'd be like, what is everyone doing over here? Just drop wonderful, wonderful over there. But after you watch this video on Phil Baroni, come back in our comment section and let me know what you thought of this crazy story between Phil and his poor girlfriend. Like, it's a terrible, terrible story. But interesting nonetheless, because it sheds a light. CTE is real. It is a real thing. So go over there, check it out. Come back over here. Let me know what you think. We'll keep the conversation going. And if I missed your comments about Gane, Ngannou, Jon Jones, I need you guys to let me know in the comment section down here. I'll answer. Just let me know what you think. I want to know what's on your mind about that, because I'm curious. Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? What's your scenario? What's the next fight? A lot of conversation to be had. I got to get out of here. I'll see you Wednesday. We got a fantastic show. We have 2 shows on Wednesday for you, so make sure you hit the notification bell, subscribe, the whole deal. And don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA-hole.
Wonderful, wonderful.